See what kind of mood I'm in, Scrape?
You're in a great mood,
I want everybody to see this shirt.
Which is very welcome to me.
Can people see it?
Yeah.
There it is.
I don't know who made it. It was in the studio. I'm assuming it was sent to the morning show, but it says where Sammy goes, champagne flows.
Sam Levitt back with a playoff-bound team. Well, maybe.
Crazy.
It's sure looking like it all of a sudden, isn't it crazy?
They're the talk of baseball right now because they were dead in the water 3 weeks ago.
Let's put it into perspective. But first, we'll welcome you in. Crisello, that is Scraby over there. And we are in the Bill House Studios. It's a 3-hour get-together today on Gwynn and Chris. Tony Gwynn Jr. has the day off, as do the Padres for the first time in 2.5 weeks. They've had a game for 16 straight days. I know they're in a stretch of something like 26 games in 27 days. And while we were all celebrating a huge victory yesterday over the Brewers to complete the 3-game sweep and move into, sole possession of second place in the wild card and all that went with that. Yeah, while we were doing all that, the Padres were in the clubhouse going, oh, thank God we got a day off tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're just so excited to have a day off. They haven't had one in ages. And today they get one as they'll be resting. And if you're going to get a day off, hey, sign me up for Cleveland.
You can go to the Rock and Roll Museum.
You can go to the Rock and Roll Museum. Yeah. They don't care where they're getting the day off. They're happy to get one. They will be back in action, of course, starting a series with the Guards tomorrow, but all is wonderful in Padre land. And just to add to that, by the way, earlier today, one of the day games, the Pirates crushed the Marlins today, 13-1. I noticed that. So that drops the Marlins another half game back in the race for those final two play. Yeah, I take it all. Later, I think the Phillies play today in the Field of Dreams game.
Oh, it's on Netflix too.
Oh goodness!
We're gonna have to fire
Does that
up
mean
Netflix.
We don't have to watch it?
No, we're gonna have to fire up Netflix.
Goodness.
I am a sucker for these games.
Why do you like this? It was
I
good.
don't know.
The first game was ridiculous when Kevin Costner came out of the cornfield and introduced the players who then also came out of the cornfield. They themselves had to feel ridiculous.
I bet they did, and we roasted. When that happened, when Kevin Costner came walking out of the cornfield. But I am a sucker for these games.
You like the Field of Dreams
fun.
game. Okay.
I like, maybe here's why it is. Because my dad's parents lived in Iowa, and that's where this game is.
Okay, a little
and
Iowa
we
connection
went to this house one time to see the field and everything.
All right, so maybe connection. I got that. Field of Dreams Day. A game is later. The Phillies are in that. So we'll become Twins fans later on this afternoon. But, yes, as it stands, the Padres are in the number 2 spot, and they are a game ahead of both the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Arizona is idle tonight, and as I just said, the Marlins have already lost. So now let's go back to what you began with, which is the Padres are the talk of baseball, and nobody can believe what has happened. So let's put it into perspective. 33 days ago, Scraby, that is on July 10th, the Padres were 6.5 back of the final wild card spot, and they were in 8th place in the wild card standings. In those 33 days, they've not only moved into a wild card spot by a game, they have passed the Nationals. They have passed the Marlins. They have passed the Phillies, the Pirates, the Cardinals, and the Diamondbacks. They have passed, count them, 6 teams in 33 days. This is why people are like, whoa. And we are too, because we didn't expect it.
No.
We had pretty much given up the ship.
He said ship.
I did. Although we felt the other too.
We did. We also almost said that word.
Well, let's be honest. The team was playing like ship at the time. So,
oh man, you're making me.
So you can understand why we're a little hesitant to believe in things, but. I credit Craig Stammen. I've said it before, with continuing to try stuff, even when nothing was working, and then they landed on the pitching chaos. And I think that for some reason seemed to kind of jumpstart it. Obviously, the hitting of Jackson Merrill and Fernando is more of a reason why.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, the starters with the piggybacking there, kept them in games long enough, and the offense came to life. And, once that happens, your bullpen hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
The only thing that happened to the bullpen is that it got exhausted there. But now you've added Robbie Ray, you've added Casey Mize. And even though your first thought is, well, neither guy's really been that great yet. Casey Mize pitched better in the second game. Robbie Ray only 4 innings yesterday. But understand that with these two guys there, and you now have the solidified 5-man rotation where pretty much every starter is going to give you 5 or 6 innings. If that continues, win or lose, the bullpen is going to stay rested and be able to dominate the way it did yesterday. And that's what won the game yesterday. The bullpen was incredible, capped off by Adrian Morejon's best performance maybe of his career. I don't know. That might be overstating it. But my goodness, he gives up another run there. The Brewers are winning that game, and Adrian Morejon refused to buckle in. He just said, look, I got to, nothing's going good here in this 11th inning. I got to find a way to not let them score again. And he did. And it ended up paying off in one of the great victories of the season. And what I said yesterday was the best game of the season. And I will go through. It was such a good game that after the game, Scrape, you and I did not do our normal segment of notes on a scorecard because there's so much good stuff from that game yesterday that the hour-long show we had last night may not have been able to contain it.
Well, when you lifted up the papers, I was surprised that your arm could actually do that.
I needed a forklift to pick up all the papers and the notes on a scorecard.
You usually have 4
or 5 pages.
There's at least 15.
12, actually, 12. Is the actual number of notes on a scorecard pages. But there's so much stuff, so much strategy, so many things happened that didn't happen, plays that were made, plays that weren't made, substitution, changes, coaching decisions. That I love. And to say that had the feel of a playoff game is not hyperbole. It had the feel of a playoff game. It took a playoff-like amount of time to play it. 3 hours and 46 minutes. And guess what? I was in no hurry for it to end. That's when baseball is at its best. And I thought yesterday, and if they had lost the game, I would have said something similar. Although, obviously wouldn't have been as fun of a final result, but that didn't change. It was just a really fun game. We're going to break it all down from the great things that happened to stuff like Xander not being asked to bunt in the 10th inning, which kept me awake for most of the night last night. So we'll get into all of that. Notes on a scorecard a little later. I want to give a quick heads up. If you are driving north on the 5 freeway, there's not a SIG alert. There's no road closures.
Okay, good.
All right.
What news are you breaking right now?
Well, I'm breaking something pretty important. I want everybody on the 5 freeway north, look over your shoulder. I mean, not figuratively, but, keep an eye out for a little white, fast racing car with the license plate Super Nut. He may be zigging in and out of traffic, hopefully not breaking the speed limit. But Braden, who just finished the show, is coaching his team at Cathedral in a game at Mater Dei at, I think, 4:30 today.
Wait,
now, I don't know. Mater Dei's in
LA?
Santa Ana.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I don't know how anyone's going to get there in 2.5 hours under these conditions. You know what the traffic's going to have to be like. So everybody be on the watchful eye. And if you can move out of his way, let him pass.
No.
He has somewhere to go.
No.
You don't want to do them a favor?
Because
I'm trying to help him out.
We're against speeders.
I don't want him to speed. I want the people to get out of his way so he doesn't have to speed. He can just ease his way up to the game.
So wait, people are supposed to part the road as he goes 65 down the freeway?
I want to see a parting of the 5 freeway up in Oceanside.
While he just cruise
controls
controls
he just kind of
65.
eases his way like this, Graydon, with the arm over the, Yeah. So Braden, look out for Braden.
He should have borrowed Tony's helicopter.
Right. Tony's probably using it today because I believe his daughter, Tony's daughter, is having her first soccer match today for Grand Canyon. In fact, we should check, see if there's a score available on that or what time that game is. But Tony Gwynn's daughter, Michaela, is down in Phoenix. She's got her very first collegiate Division I game today.
Oh, Braden just texted me.
That's where Tony is. What Braden said. Does he appreciate my help?
No, all he said was ETA says 346, plenty of time.
346.
So he must be going 100.
No kidding. I've driven the 5. And you get to Carlsbad and Oceanside, it could be an hour and a half just getting through those spots. So I wish you all the best, Braden Surprenant. But everybody wish him the best. He is the hardest working guy. We're not. He is.
Wait, speak for yourself.
Yeah, you don't do much. I
have another job too.
Oh, but you're not driving to Mater Dei right now. That is an assignment.
Definitely not, nor would I want to.
That is an assignment. All right, we have 3 hours today. And a couple of quick notes. Brian Dunseth of MLS on Apple TV, our regular Thursday interview, talking MLS, talking soccer, talking everything for all you SDFC fans. We'll get the latest from him. Always fun talking with those guys. And then at 3:30 today, we have a special edition of Notes on a Scorecard. We're going to look back at really one of the best baseball games of the year. And if you haven't heard Notes on a Scorecard yet, I hope you feel like you're in for a treat because the folks that tune in on the afternoon days after love, for some reason, Notes on a Scorecard become kind of a thing.
More so it's you're angry after games. So because
even though they won yesterday, there's going to be things to be angry about into Notes on a Scorecard today. That's coming up. Obviously, the regular stuff, Gambit, Chris versus the Fans, Big Five. It all leads to a replay of today's Padre Roundtable, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Brian Lawrence, former Padres pitcher, was our guest. He was great. We'll talk about that and everything else that's happening on 97.3 The Fan.
It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
and 496, come on. I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh, 511.
Monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
gone. I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His third in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see. Scoreboard.
That one's out of here. And into the second
I think I'm tied for second, and that one's going to hopefully keep me there and put me at first. Ooh, even longer.
Home run.
I think I maybe hit it. Oh, wait, no. That's me. Right out there.
6 consecutive home runs.
I was watching another one. Oh, I think that was off the end of the bat. Terrible. Wait, I made it? It's Coors Field, man. Go. Oh. Didn't have a shot. Oh, I think I'm too far ahead. Nope. A home run.
Another home run.
Okay, what, 9? I was looking at the score thing. I think it might be a home run, though. Ooh, it was.
He takes on the bleacher
I'm in
section.
second. Ooh, that was a high pitch. Is that going to go? A little bit early. But it's gone.
That one's out of here. Now 11 home runs for him.
I'm hoping that one is. I don't know. Yes.
And
I'm having a hard time judging these things, apparently. Oh, that one just sounded amazing. So what, I have like a minute left with 13 home runs. I'm still in second. Oh, that one. I need to basically hit a home run everywhere. Oh, that one worked. Didn't think it was going to clear the wall. That one also sounded great. Oh, wow.
5 in a row.
Yes, I think I got it. 16 with what, 36 seconds left?
Consecutive home run.
Oh, is it going to get inside the pole? Yes.
Make it 7 in a row now.
I need to keep up. Oh, that's not going to help me at all. It's 15 seconds left, and I'm in second. I need 2 home runs. I don't know. No. This is only the first round, but still. Ooh, that one was stroked.
And
oh, 495. There we go.
Second deck.
Take it. It's always nice when you start with a home run.
No doubt about
And
that
496, come on. Ugh, I don't know why I swung at that. Come on, pitching coach. Get it up. That's what she said. Go. That was almost like his walk-off home run. Ooh, that one sounded good. Keep going. Oh, 511.
Monster home run.
I don't know if that's actually happened. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, wait.
That one is
Wow.
gone.
I didn't need it to go. Go. That one's gone.
His 3rd in a row.
Where am I? Oh, the scoreboard disappeared. I think that's too high. Let me see. Scoreboard.
That one's out of here. And into the
I
second
think
deck.
I'm tied for second in that.
All right, we are here. It is Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports talk station, 97.3 The Fan. We got Grand Canyon, the Lopes, taking on Buffalo.
Buffalo, huh?
Not the Josh Allen-led Buffalo.
Okay.
The school that I believe it was Khalil Mack played at Buffalo.
He did. There was a guy also on the Chargers when I worked for Chargers Radio named Brandon Oliver.
Another Buffalo. Yes. So it'll be Grand Canyon against the Buffalo Bulls. That's their nickname. Game gets underway at 7 o'clock. Well, now, wait a minute now. Hold on. I'm off on this. That's a week from today. I don't want to give everybody the wrong impression here. I thought Tony said the opening game was today. Did he not?
I'm not sure.
Well, because there's a story.
Because he was off yesterday, too. So he was off from the broadcast as well.
Okay, well, because it says here Grand Canyon defeated Arizona 2-0 yesterday. So I wonder if that was the opening game yesterday.
This is a dumb question, but do you think there's 2 teams?
No.
Okay.
No, they are officially 1-0. They did play yesterday, so I was wrong. 2-0.
I guess I was wrong, too.
Tony Gwynn Jr.'s daughter, Michaela, her team posts a victory. I'm looking at the scoring. She was not either of the 2 goal scorers. Doesn't mean she didn't have a big hand in the win. Congratulations to Tony and his daughter.
I mean, Arizona, that's a big school.
They did win. Arizona, that is a big school. It's, Big 12. Anyway, all right. Enough of that. Braden Soprenet just ran into his first traffic jam, he said. car slowed down up in Loma Santa Fe, so he's in trouble.
Wait, he texted you that?
No, I'm just making it up.
He texted me and said that he did think that you were. He does appreciate you for.
I'm trying to help him get there, man. That's a long drive under tough circumstances. Earlier today, we had a really good roundtable, Padre roundtable, hosted by Ben Higgins and including myself and Braden and Stephen Woods, and we've had a lot of special guests this year. It's been a lot of fun, having people from the media come in, TV personalities. Ted Leitner came in, and some of the other great radio voices here in town.
I was here when I've only done one. The first one, Darnay Tripp was.
Darnay was the guy from NBC.
NBC, yes.
Yeah. So we've had a bunch of guys, and some former Padres. And today we had Brian Lawrence, right-hander, who was the opening day starter for the Padres. You good Padre fans will certainly remember Brian. He was the opening day starter in back-to-back years, 2003 and 2004. He was also part of the 2005 division-winning team. He pitched in 2 games in that postseason that year, both out of the bullpen. But Brian Lawrence had a really, solid run here. He won 15 games for the Padres in 2004. And along with Jake Peavy, gave them a pretty good 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation. And it also, his name came up last year when Mason Miller threw an immaculate inning because he became the second Padre ever to do it, the first having been Brian Lawrence.
Wow.
So
that's a good list.
Not bad. Yeah, it's B-Law and it's Mason Miller. But Brian was on today, and I thought one of the things I enjoy the whole roundtable because there's a lot of good stuff, and obviously the Padres are winning, and there's a lot of good stuff. But one thing, Ben brought up near the end was the schedule. And you and I talked about this 2 days ago. The Padres only have 4 series left against playoff level, teams.
Yes.
I think they have the Dodgers, they have Arizona, and they have, I think it's the Yankees, and the Rays. Those are the 4 series left that the Padres have against teams that would be in the playoffs. Arizona has 8 such series left. So you'd have to say advantage Padres there. But Brian Lawrence cautioned today with a little story about something that happened to he and Jake Peavy way back when about overlooking opponents. Can't do it.
Well, I've always said there's no bad team in the big leagues. They're all major league teams. I remember I was on a flight coming from somewhere. Me and Jake sat next to each other, and we were absolutely dominating teams. Like, we were just pitching. We were going into Kansas City, and they were not good. And we're like, we got, another one here. And I think we both gave up 5 runs in the first inning. And so it's like, there's no bad teams. They all can get you at any day. And so you got to play baseball the way they're playing right now and just put your head down and play the game correctly, no matter who they're playing. And then they know that it's going out there and getting it done and just continue to play the way they're playing right now.
Brian Lawrence, some of what he had to say today, shared some really good stories and some really good insights. So I recommend listening to the roundtable. That'll play in its entirety at 5:00 today. But it's just interesting to get an example of it. Like he and Jake Peavy were sitting on a plane going, we going to Kansas City? This is going to be a lock city the way we're
dominating
pitching.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Bad teams make me nervous when the Padres play them, just because it feels like they always play down to the level. So,
but not this year.
Not this year. But
this year they've been really
had some
good.
Pitchers lock them down that are
couple.
Yeah,
but
and that's
overall,
going to happen throughout the course of a 162 game season.
I mean, it seems like at least for now we've kind of got rid of the agony of playing the Rockies.
That is true.
So
I will take that. Take that.
But yeah, I think the Padres have done a pretty good job. And let's be honest, because they only have 4 series left against the teams I just named, but Cleveland is still in the hunt. So they're playing them. You know what I mean? They're still playing teams that are there. They're not just playing a bunch of teams that are out of it entirely. So it's going to be 40 games, which when you think about it is still 1/4 of the season to go.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And the question is, which Padres will we see in these 40 games? Will we see the one that started the season 29-18? Or will we see the one that gave us 2 months of ship by going 21 and
Adam's gonna kill you
35.
if you keep saying that.
I know, I'll stop it. Or will we see this latest rendition of the Padres, which is beating everybody 15-4, and not only 15-4 on July 18th. That again is less than a month ago.
Yes.
The Padres were clearly, without question, the worst hitting team in baseball. They were last in runs. They were last in average. They were last in slugging. They were last in OPS. Everything. There was nobody that could contend with them. And what in the world has happened? Because since July 19th to now, they are number one in all of the categories I just named. They didn't just go from dead last to like the middle of the pack. They've gone from the absolute worst and over the last 3.5 weeks, the absolute best. It is really kind of defies explanation.
It does.
So
it does. And this team has had so many different versions. You know what I was thinking about? Like, they should break up the major league season into 4 parts and then give some team who wins those 4 parts a prize, because it is a battle all year long. You could be a bad team for 40 games. You could be this team.
The Padres are bad for 60 games this year.
Baseball boggles my mind.
John Smoltz, Hall of Famer, it's funny you mentioned this. He was asked about how to solve the discrepancy between the haves and the have-nots. Right? That's the big argument in baseball.
It is.
Nobody has an answer to it. You know, salary cap, well, okay, but the players aren't going to do it. So how are we going to actually do this? John Smoltz said that he believes, and others, you know, in his kind of circle,
his ilk.
Yeah, they agree and think that it is time for baseball to split the season in 2 and have 2 basically 80-game seasons. And if you want to listen to it, you could call him up on YouTube talking about this.
I will go do this
But
later.
He does a very in-depth explanation as to why that will keep the have-nots from trading all their players, because they'll have you know what I mean? You have a second half of a season. He had a lot of explanations as to why this would help work. And we need something along with the salary cap that they're not going to go for.
Yeah.
So John Smoltz, it's just funny that you said they should split the season up.
I didn't hear this at all.
He thinks that is legit the way, or not. Look, nothing's going to solve it entirely.
Yeah.
But he thinks that can be a big step toward doing something like that. If you want to hear it, find John Smoltz on YouTube or Scraby. Put a link somewhere.
I'll definitely go.
You'll find it. John Smoltz is a pretty smart guy. Even if you don't like him on the broadcast, which I do. I think he's a really good broadcaster too. But he's thought this through. And I didn't say everything he said. He had a lot of support for this idea. So if you're interested, you can check that out. All right. We'll do a little soccer for all of you fans of football. Oh, my God, Scraby. Speaking of football, today's August 13th. September 13th is the Sunday for week 1.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, most preseason games start today.
Yeah, true. But yeah, there are some preseason. But no, we're 1 month from the first Sunday. We're 1 month from Scott Hansen saying, and now with tons of commercial interruption, here is NFL Red Zone.
I was going to say, you have to be truthful.
Yes, he used to say that there was no interruption. Now there's going to be interruption.
Something just tells me last year when he lied to the audience, it actually did hurt Scott Hansen.
Well, he tried to come as clean as he could. He's such a good stand-up guy.
Too many times.
Well, he's a stand-up guy, and he made a mistake. That'll happen. We all do.
Get ready for more ads, as Chris says, though.
Yeah, they're going to be ads, but I'll still be watching the Red Zone 1 month from today. We'll have more Gwynn and Chris in a moment.
Gwynn and Chris.
Thursday to you. It always takes me a minute to remember what day it is.
I've been having trouble this week.
I always go, Thursday, yeah. And even when I say it, I'm not always right. I miss it sometimes.
Just notate, I did the round table today. It's Thursday.
Yeah. All I know is that a month from today, it's week 1 of the NFL. That's all have a tunnel vision. I can't believe it's so close.
I wonder if our commissioner has set up a draft yet.
Don't get me started. Number one. Number
I did
two,
that on purpose.
Don't make me say something because he doesn't like when I bug him.
It's not him.
Doesn't
He actually
like it.
said last time he didn't mind it.
He doesn't want to be bugged. But I did talk to John Flint today over there at KSON, and he asked, he goes, "Are we having a season?" I said, "You know the routine by now.
Yeah.
Of course we're having
This
a
is like
season.
the 6th year.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 8 years. Tony will, have it ready, and you just wait. You'll get your notice.
The most stressful part of the year is fantasy football draft season because no one can ever figure out a date to do it.
That coming up with it, but it's much easier now because everybody just sits at somewhere on their phone and does the draft.
Yeah, when you're in person, it's way harder.
Honestly, Scraby, back in the day, we had 12 people coming from halfway all over the country to San Diego to meet somewhere to have the draft in person because you couldn't do it any other way.
Those are the days.
Those was much more difficult to put it together.
You get to go up there. I even did one time where you go up there and you get to write on the board.
Wrote your own name.
Yep.
Yeah. We used to have 12 pieces of that huge butcher paper, that white stuff, and hang it along the walls. And when you drafted Jerry Rice or whatever, you walked up and wrote it in. A little different.
Rod said we draft live at a bar, and I've done that before when I was a drinker. Worst team of my life.
Didn't go too well for you.
I thought it was so good though. Leaving that bar, I would not recommend drafting drunk.
Well, I didn't say we can draft in a bar and not be drunk. I know that's news to you, Scraby. Not every person at a bar is drunk.
That is true.
Okay. Let's be clear about that.
All right, I'm going to call our guy.
Brian Dunseth, MLS on Apple TV. Going to be joining us here momentarily. Don't forget, special rendition in the 3 o'clock hour today. Notes on a scorecard from yesterday's, what I deemed the best game of the season. Padres 4-3 victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. By the way, the Brewers, no time to rest. They're up in L.A. tonight taking on the Dodgers. So Padres get their first day off in 2.5 weeks, and I'm sure they are enjoying that. Tomorrow, Friar Friday, although a very quick show.
Yeah, only
Don't
an hour.
blink, you might miss it. But one thing that you will get tomorrow between 2 and 3 is our Friar Friday interview with Luis Rengifo, who is been one of the amazing stars of what's happened here in the last 3.5 weeks. And he'll be our guest. We'll have a chance to meet him tomorrow on Friar Friday. But looking forward to talking a little soccer. Each and every week when we do our soccer visits, they're always fun. And Brian Dunseth joins us from Apple TV. Brian, how are you today, sir? Good to talk to you, as always.
Same. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Well, we're hanging in there, but we're trying to figure out where we are in the season. we are still new to all of this, Brian, even though it's our second year. We had MLS, and then we had some tournament. I think it was the CONCACAF. Then we had MLS, and then we had the World Cup. Then we had some MLS. Now we have Leagues Cup. And I think now we're going back to MLS. So it makes some sense of it to all of us that are not as familiar.
Yeah, welcome. You're getting indoctrinated in real time and in world football.
Right.
Yeah, I know it can be confusing because every time I turn on another sport, I'm like, wait a second, a tournament in the middle of the season?
Yeah, the NBA play.
Listen,
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, it's a different court. That must mean, what do I know? Knucklehead. Where to start? I think, let's go back in 2025. I think what we've seen from San Diego ownership, from leadership behind the scenes to Mikey, his coaching staff, and the players in particular, that as important the play on the field is the philosophical approach and creating kind of an internal morality and balance and check systems that, the performance on the field is as important as the human being and the collective inside of that locker room. And whatever the culture that was set from day one. It was really evident that there was a couple of non-negotiables. And first and foremost, I think, Mikey, and obviously we can reference the Chucky Lozano situation, is that there's certain things that are moments in time where you got to make tough decisions, and you've got to figure out ways to allow an individual to be an individual, but also allow the collective to continue to grow in the same direction. And so for as hard as it was to kind of watch from the outside looking in, what could have been a very destructive moment in the quote unquote off season heading into the preseason, that there was a very clear idea of what San Diego wanted to do. And listen, while the performances last year were at such an extremely high, consistent level, that there was bound to be a drop off. But I don't think anyone projected the drop off to be as significant as it was in the first phase of the season, meaning that last 10 to 15 minutes where significant points were dropped. And Mike talked about
that was the big thing, man. It seemed like every game something, lurking was waiting, evil lurking was waiting, in the last 15 minutes.
And as much as that is tactical and it's physical, the dumbest theory is sometimes the easiest, and it's just mental. And you fall asleep at the wrong second. And as we know, whether we call it, the psychology, we call it the yips, we talk about, the functional breakdown of just mistakes and moments where you don't feel like, you're getting the rub of the green, that the results are going your way, that you started kind of get this feeling of, here we go again. I've been on teams like that. I've looked over my shoulders, be like, can't trust you, can't trust you, can't trust you. And I can remember one time the legend Eddie Pope, EP22, U.S. men's national team, every game we go into at Real Salt Lake back in the day in the first year, we'd be like, hey, let's just handle our business together, and then we can take on the rest of it. So, all these things can be true. But what I would say is that sometimes when you struggle, you end up learning a lot more about yourself. Because when everything's going well, it's really easy to paper over the cracks. And you don't need to make things maybe as big of a deal as it needs to be. And I think this year, the evolution of this roster, some of the transfer window movement that we're seeing, the continued evolution from the training facility to the youth team, the academy setup, and what the partnerships around the world look like, there's a really great blueprint that's been set for San Diego. And hopefully, they get back to their winning ways. It's going to be a hell of a challenge, but something that they did last August up at BMO Stadium when they won 2-1 against LAFC.
Got Brian Dunseth from MLS on Apple TV. I'm looking at what happened in the League's Cup, Brian, and the good news for San Diego, they won their last two and ended up going 2-1 in phase one. But that 2-1 record was not enough to get them to the knockout stage. So now they can come back and start focusing on their next match, which is LAFC. Having said that, winning those last two matches, even though it doesn't get them to the knockout stage, could that be a nice little something to get them going with some momentum, going back to MLS?
I would actually, honestly, I would add that loss against Club America down in Mexico City, where the World Cup kicked off. Again, I think it's such a young organization. I don't like the word franchise. I don't like the word expansion team. I'll just call it as a group. I think there's moments where, we've seen them go down to Mexico, and whether that was at Toluca or at Universitario against Pumas, that I think they've already had 3, maybe 4 games down in Mexico. And it's funny, I was talking to my partner, Max Bredos, about this. There's only a couple teams in this league that allow you to kind of look in the mirror and really think and realize where you're truly at. Because, throughout the course of the season, you're going to win some games, you're going to lose some games. But I think Inter Miami and LAFC are kind of two teams when you stack up against them. It gives you an opportunity to kind of see how good you are and maybe how far off you really, truly are. And I think the same could be said of going down to Mexico and getting these opportunities because, for the lesser experienced, quote unquote, younger guys, it's always a real lesson when you go down to Mexico. I can tell you when you're breathing out places you never thought you were capable of breathing because you're at altitude, humidity, smog, all those things, chasing, you're suffering. There's a learning process that happens really, really quick. And I think through all these, and you're right, the win against Tijuana, the win last night against Puebla, there were some good things and there were some bad things. But I don't think it's lost on Mikey and this coaching staff that momentum and confidence are two really, really important things, especially with how frustrating this Western Conference can be at times.
Talking to Brian Dunseth here, MLS on Apple TV on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. And I was impressed once they started playing last year with the physicality of soccer. And then the World Cup, was very physical. The MLS gives out a lot of yellow cards. So I was just wondering, it was the physicality of MLS, like, from league to league, are they all the same, or are there different levels of, that physicality, if I'm going to use that word for the third time?
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but I do think there's different versions of the game, and I think that's one of the biggest beauties about Major League Soccer, because you'll get guys from Africa, you'll get guys from South America, you'll get guys from Europe, you'll get guys from the college game, the homegrown process, and they all come with a different version of the background, and it could be everything that we talk about in the United States, the heat and humidity in the South, the altitude of Salt Lake or Denver, playing on the artificial surface, playing in grass over your ankles at times in other countries, playing on, we call it bumpy pitches, really dirt fields. When you walk, I can tell you'll have a different feeling when you walk out of a locker room, say in Honduras at 2:00 in the afternoon, and there's guys with Uzis surrounding the track.
And that would get your attention. Yeah.
Yeah. And
hey,
you're like,
Dunseth, you going to score a goal today? Probably not, sir. Probably not.
Yeah. Well, and I can tell you from being at the Olympics in 2000, we were going in the bronze medal match, and the Chilean fans were outside of our hotel lighting off fireworks and singing all night long. So I like to refer to it lovingly as the dark arts, the manipulation of the game. And yeah, listen, I think it's also kind of the cultural standpoint. We can go deep into all this, but yeah, I mean, there's different, this version of refereeing, the refereeing that we saw at the World Cup is just a little bit different than the refereeing we see in the Premier League, different than we see in the Champions League, different than we see in Major League Soccer. The idea of what is or isn't a handball that leads to a penalty is drastically different on Saturdays and Sundays versus, the Tuesdays and Wednesdays of Champions League. So, yeah, one size doesn't fit all, but you're right. I do think there's something to be said about out hustling, outsmarting, outworking, and out tackling your opponent. Those, for me, are 4 non-negotiables that usually give you a huge benefit over the course of 90 minutes.
It was interesting to watch a team such as Argentina, which by the end of that World Cup was kind of looked upon as kind of the dirty, little sneaky
bullies.
Bad guys. Yeah, but I didn't hate their style. They played aggressive, and you had to play through that.
You mean they're standing around the field for all of the final? Is that their style you're talking about, Chris?
Well, they got beat pretty bad. There's no question about that.
They also, they also went to overtime on 3 occasions. And you could do a really fascinating deep dive on the teams that played outdoors as opposed to played in the 72-degree indoor facilities, the teams that traveled. There's so many. I can't wait for someone to do a real deep dive. But you're right. I mean, you look at those final 15 minutes against England, and the physicality was certainly beneficial for Argentina. And if you were just going based on the final, if you wanted just the quality of play, England versus Spain probably would have been more of a 50-50 battle. Whereas Argentina, and I can't wait to see if there's any stories that come out later, but it seemed as if the tactical setup was wrong from the beginning, and the emotions were high before they even came out on the locker room. But yeah, credit to Spain, because that opening 15 minutes, as you're watching it, you're like, oh God, Argentina is just going to chase, and they are going to suffer, and this is going to be really painful for them to watch.
The only guy that was happier with Argentina's lousy coaching in the finals was the England coach, so that people stopped criticizing him for what a bad job he did. Brian, let's finish up with our team here, SDFC. I think people would be surprised, who don't follow it as closely as some others. There are still 16 matches left in the season, so there is a ton of time. It's not like, and they're only. Now they're in 13th place. So you look at the table and you go, wow, they're way down there. But there's only like 3 points to jump up to 8th or 9th, which is 1 win. So, what do you think? I mean, should we hope to expect? And I also, real quick, before you can go, can you touch on the Galaxy coming here on the 29th with Irving Lozano potentially playing against us here?
Yeah, I would say here's the thing about the Western Conference. You put together 2 or 3 wins in a row, and your positioning drastically changes. And to your point,
Yeah.
San Diego on 21 points. I believe Dallas and Salt Lake are both on 27, and they're in 5th and 6th position, if my memory serves me correctly.
Right.
But then again, I went to Cal State Fullerton. I never declared a major.
We
so
respect
I'm
the Titans
unreliable
around here, Brian.
Toughy the Titan, baby. Toughy the Titan.
Yeah.
No, listen, I think what you're looking at is an upcoming schedule that becomes, really beneficial in a lot of ways, and at the same time, very challenging. And I think, to your point, the idea of momentum, it's a fickle conversation. But away against LAFC, away against Portland on the artificial surface, then you're home against Colorado, and then I'll tie into Chucky. I have been traded at times where I wanted to be traded when I was a player, and I got traded at times where it was a complete shock to the system and a slap in the face. What I've been impressed with is for San Diego, whether it's Tyler Heaps or it's Mikey Veras or anybody associated with leadership, it was very clear that while this seems a very personal issue between Chucky and Mikey and everything that transpired down in Houston, the reality is that a player under contract is still due the money that he's under contract for. And the coach and the manager, the coaching staff and the ownership and leadership, they need to figure out solutions. They've seemingly figured out this short-term solution, which hopefully becomes a long-term solution for both parties. Chucky's an insanely talented player. We know that. And for whatever happened, that story will probably tell itself at some point. But in the meantime, I'm happy for the player that after missing out on an opportunity to go to a World Cup, he gets a chance to be back on the field and competing at the highest level. And it is certainly one less distraction that Mikey and his coaching staff have to deal with, whether in real time or post 90 minutes going into the press conferences and having to deal with, hey, you guys need goals. Why isn't Chucky here? Why isn't Chucky a part of this? What's happening? And that became incredibly uncomfortable. But from a player standpoint, oh man, it's not nerves. It's anger, it's anticipation, and it is a functionality of going out and trying to embarrass the person that you feel has done you dirty. If you're a San Diego fan, you're going to be super interested to see how that performance, not for the Galaxy per se, and I know you're still battling from Southern California. I'm from the 909. I'm from Upland. I get the battles between San Diego sports and LA sports. But this is going to be really fascinating because it is that personal. So within the dynamics of the game itself and the individual, I'm fascinated to see the emotions that come along with that.
Yeah, definitely circle the 29th, August 29th on the calendar. And I know SDFC fans have, and I'm sure the Galaxy will be here, and so will MLS on Apple TV. Brian Dunseth, thanks so much as always. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Very good. Brian Dunseth, they're all so good on MLS. We appreciate them. And I become so much better on soccer just talking to these guys, Scraby. I give them all the credit. But I'm looking at the standings, or the table, as it were.
The table.
Yes. And it is true that SDFC is in 13th place.
Not great.
However, if you believe at all in the goal differential statistic.
Oh, I do. I do.
Well, a lot of people do, because they think it kind of it gives an idea of, there's the way games go. SDSC is a +3 in goal differential. That is better than any of the 6 teams above them in the standings.
Wow.
So their goal differential suggests that maybe it's time to start winning some of these close games and move on up. I'll give you a comparison. Last place, Sporting Kansas City, they're a -28. So there's a difference there.
There's definitely a difference.
Sure. So I still have hope that SDFC can battle back.
One thing I do know
season
is that the MLS season is very long.
Can you believe there's 16 matches left?
I can't.
I thought there'd be like 3 or 4 and then it's all over.
They play longer than the baseball season.
Well, the first MLS match this year, because they've had so many games in and out of all these other, tournaments. Saturday, February 21st. That was the first match this year.
Well before That's like when pitchers and catchers are reporting.
The last match is scheduled for Saturday, November 7th.
That's crazy.
February
That's a
to
long
November.
season. That is a long season. And then they're back at it in like December.
2 hours left in this show, which is not nearly that long. Gwynn and Chris continues. no Gwynn today. We mentioned it earlier. Congrats to Tony and his daughter. She debuted with a victory in her Grand Canyon Division I soccer opener last night. 2-0 over Arizona. I'm sure proud Papa was there after the match to congratulate Michaela. Padres are on their way to Cleveland. They are enjoying their first, or they're in Cleveland.
They probably got there
they probably got there
late last night.
But they're enjoying right now their first day off in 2.5 weeks, 16 days straight with a game. And even though we're ecstatic about that great victory yesterday over the Brewers, and I'm sure the Padres were happy about it, they seemed more happy that they had the day off today. That seemed to be the number one thing on their minds.
Imagine working 26 days in a row in whatever job you're doing.
I've never done that before.
I have.
Me too.
It's brutal.
I love work.
Wait. You just said I've never done that before, and you said me too?
Bring it on. Let's play. Let's have work. Let's go to work. What else do I have to do? All you people who can't wait to retire, I'm just warning you. A lot of my friends are kind of getting there, and a few of them have retired, and almost all of them are like, now what do I do? It sounds good.
I mean,
but you still have to come up with something to do.
It does sound good, and I understand you got to come up with something to do, but like, don't you have all of your life to figure that out?
Like what you want to do after you retire?
Yeah.
Yes, but what is available to you other than golf? What else is out there?
You know what I would probably do? I would learn. I would learn to do something. I would learn to underwater basket weave or something.
I would like to see that.
I wouldn't, because that sounds
get you in there.
Bad and awful.
All right. Before we get to today's Daily Gambit, interesting was a story you're looking at here about it's betting the preseason in football, because you and I always talk about it. If you're betting the preseason, you are should just check right into rehab.
Yes. And so here's what I'm saying. I think that the betting industry has to be more responsible about the way they do things. And here is the title of this betting article: Preseason NFL betting isn't for degenerates. Why there is value and how to find it.
Yeah.
I think this is
now,
really
who
bad.
wrote this article?
Some guy named Corby Craig. Yahoo Sports.
Yahoo Sports. So see, this is where we talk. Okay, go ahead. But Yahoo Sports is basically saying, hey, don't forget to gamble on this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. That's where I was going with this, is that they're actually now, they're trying to take the look as, let me start this over. They're trying to take the betting on preseason and degenerate look, and they're trying to change it around. They're trying to say it's okay to bet on preseason football. It's all good. You can make money. Here's how we could do it. This is wrong. They should.
You honestly,
they shouldn't be doing this.
You might as well just bet on, what car in what lane is going to get to the red light. I mean, there's no way to know.
There is no way to know.
The Buffalo Bills are saying, well, we're going to play our starters tonight or tomorrow in their first game because it's the new stadium. They want them all in there. So now, because of that, I'm sure Buffalo will be favored or whatever. I don't even know they're playing, but you don't know what that means. Josh Allen may just hand off one time and go sit down.
Yeah, they're saying.
How can you bet on something you don't even know what you're betting on?
The article is saying you bet on the coach, not the team. And it's basically telling you, there's no way to predict this, but here are some ways that you can possibly win. And I just didn't like this. I thought it was wrong.
I wouldn't even bother with that article. I will say that John Harbaugh, now that I just dismissed the whole thing, maybe you should bet on the Giants if you must, because John Harbaugh was the guy who won 20 preseason games in a row with the Ravens.
He did, or 24,
a 24 in a row. Now he's with the Giants. All right.
I don't think the Giants.
I just went against my very own advice by giving you advice. Let's go to the Daily Gambit, which we at least handle responsibly.
Yes, we do.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We mean it. We really, really mean it.
Yeah, I've come to finally, look, because I just try to dismiss it entirely, but I do understand that people like it, and it can be a good form of entertainment and relaxing or whatever it might be. So I've kind of changed my tune to at least say only gamble money that you are setting aside for that entertainment.
Yeah.
That is the main thing here.
And
do
don't chase
not be betting rent checks on stuff, because now you're into ruining your life territory.
Yeah, I told you I watched this documentary on betting years ago, and this guy, he bet and he lost, and he thought it was a lock. And so he was like, I got to bring money home to my wife. And so he put down more money from his savings account, lost that too.
Sure.
And I can understand why people chase that. I mean, anyway, it's a slippery slope. But like you said, if people can drink responsibly, that's fine.
Yes, they can.
So you can also gamble responsibly.
Right, you can. A lot of people drink. Most people drink responsibly. It's just not something you understand too well.
No, I did not drink responsibly. That's why I'm not allowed to drink anymore. That's why I'm not allowed to drink anymore.
You don't produce the show responsibly. Why are you still allowed to do that?
Because my brain is still hectic and crazy, but it's in a better light.
I'd like to know when Adam is going to figure all that out.
Yeah, Adam, figure it out.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Apparently.
All right, Tuesday night, Brewers -1.5 against the Padres. You went Brew Crew, I went Padres.
Oh, yeah.
Padres
Kyle
went
Harrison.
11-2.
They bombed him.
Over under 7.5 runs. You went over, I went under. It was well over 13. Pirates -1.5 against the Marlins the other night. We both went Pirates, but the Marlins went 8-2. Wait, did they?
That was a Paul Skeens game. And we should mention that Paul Skeens got taken out after 5 innings and 65 pitches in that game. There's not been really any word from the Pirates as to why that was. But a lot of people are speculating that Skeens could be hurting. I haven't heard anything official, though.
It definitely seems like that. He's not nearly.
He's been pitching
terrible,
and his velocity was down as well.
His velocity has been down this year 2 or 3 miles an hour.
It will be. That is something I'm surprised. We dig. Right? Reporters have to know everything, right? We have to find out, what Kyle Shanahan had for breakfast before he went driving that day. But we're not digging into why Paul Skeens was taken out of that game the other night.
It's the Pirates. The Pirates media.
Still Paul Skeens. I would think that would be of importance to people.
I would too. I would feel like some reporter would want to break the news that Paul Skeens is injured or dealing with something.
Yeah, nothing yet.
Who had more strikeouts? Dylan Cease -1 or Paul Skeens? We both went Cease. Cease had 7 minus that one is 6. Skeens only had 4, so we win.
It's not working.
Christopher
for
Sanchez over under 6 1/3. You went under. I went over. Guy went 6.
6.
So you win that
winner.
one. Runs plus hits plus RBIs. Who had more? PCA, or as we called him that day, CJ Abrams. We both chose CJ Abrams. PCA had a homer, so he had a run, a hit, and an RBI for 3.
Yeah.
CJ Abrams, though, drove in 2. 2 + 1 + 1 = 4.
CJA the win.
Yes, and then I never got to the
I
final
saw
bet.
PCA last night, and this I shouldn't mind, but since I don't like the guy, I just kind of unfairly treat him. But they were ahead 12-5 in the 9th inning, and he came up with 2 outs, and he grounded out to end the inning. His team was up by 7 runs in the 9th inning. The look on his face, though, was one of utter hatred for the sport of baseball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, okay, but you're up 7. Try to at least make it look like the winning of the game matters to you a little.
Yeah.
But I also get the other side of it. He's a competitor. And to me, he needs to rein some of it in.
Yeah, there is a time to be a little bit looser on the field.
All right.
Final one, Indiana Fever -3.5 against the Liberty. We both chose Liberty. Liberty won, Indiana won. Indiana won 106-92.
That was the game that the Indiana coach before the game, Stephanie White, went off the rails. But I also did you see that clip at all?
I honestly haven't been able
to.
Well,
she was really upset at the people in social media who are dragging the WNBA down and refuse to discuss actually what's happening on the court. And even though I think she took it to the extreme, it needed to be said a little bit. We've talked about this. The WNBA, we can't stop the bloggers. We can't stop the podcast.
No.
And if they want to
tweeters.
focus on all of the controversies and the fouls on Caitlin Clark and this and that, you can't stop them. But the WNBA itself, the coaches and players can do better with their narrative.
They can't.
That's all she was saying.
They got to figure it out. They got to figure it out.
They got to get there eventually, and they're not there yet. All right, we're not going to get to our
let's
bets
keep going,
here.
though.
Phoenix, okay. Phillies 1.5 over the Twins. Field of Dreams game in Iowa. And Aaron Nola's pitching for the Phillies, so I will take the Twins. The Phillies have been terrible this year.
When he pitches?
When anybody but Sanchez or Wheeler pitches, the Phillies lose. Although, how far might Kyle Schwarber hit one into the cornfields tonight?
I don't know. He hasn't been hitting much of home runs lately. So, all
right.
I'm going to go Phillies, though.
You're going to take the Phillies minus 1.5. You got them. Dodgers 1.5 over the Brew Crew. Sasaki's on the mound for Los Angeles.
Was this
I
an
imagine,
NLCS rematch?
Yeah. Brewers hope not.
Yeah.
Last year's NLCS was a wipeout.
It was.
I think Miz is pitching tomorrow's game.
Oh, that's kind of fun,
for the Brew Crew against the Doyers. Who do you like
Jacob
here?
Mizorowski has gotten to the point in my head as I might actually check that out.
I like Jacob Mizorowski, and I know I'm maybe overly concerned. I think we all ought to enjoy and watch him while we can. Isn't that
Because
terrible?
you think he's going to break down?
He can't throw 105 for like the next 6, 7, 8 years.
Same could be said about Mason Miller.
Mason Miller's a reliever. He's doing it in
That's
short
true.
bursts.
That's also very
much
true.
different.
Yeah, that's much
You look at Skeens, who now seems to be hurting. You look at Spencer Strider. What happened to him?
I don't know. Where is he? Is he still
I don't know.
playing?
He's still hurt. He's hurt again. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm going to go Brew Crew.
take Milwaukee. I'm going to take the Dodgers. I shouldn't, but the Brewers, I don't think are going to be able to shake off the loss to the Padres there. Jacob deGrom, 7 strikeouts tonight up in Anaheim. If you want to run up and watch him.
Braden could.
Braden will be up there. He can go watch deGrom. I saw deGrom this year against the Padres when I was down there. That was the night that they had Jacob deGrom bobblehead doll, but only 10,000 people got them in Texas.
I think that was the night that the Padres scored 5 runs in the first inning and then gave it right back.
Gave up 6. That is the night that happened. I'll take DeGrom over 7 strikeouts. The Angels are, I don't know what the Angels are.
Does Kirk Suzuki want anything to do with that team anymore? It's probably been such a bad year for him.
Well, he is a major league manager. That's the only thing he's got.
It's true. One of 30 people in the world. I will go over as well.
Over. How about Ohtani tonight? 2.5 runs plus hits plus RBIs. He homered last night, his 27th of the year,
which is just kind of surprising to me. He's not having a giant offensive year. He's having a good Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way he's ever going to go 54, 55 again.
No, he won't do that. You're right.
Yeah,
Ohtani,
that was pretty insane, and I think that will go down in the history books as such. Of course, he's supposed to be hurt. That's all I keep hearing.
Yeah, his knee is all
really bothering him. What are you going, over or under?
Under.
You like to root against Ohtani.
I do.
He's going to go over here. All right. Green Bay, Pittsburgh, 40.5 points. Again, I think
after we just talked about betting on
you can at least bet on total points. I'm not going to go the spread.
All right, total points.
Packers,
40?
Packers and Steelers, 40.5 point. Now, the funny thing is everyone's billing this as Aaron Rodgers against his former team.
Can we stop?
Really? Like, is it really that?
He's been gone for a long time.
But even that, he's not going to even play tonight. He's not playing against his team.
I think he needs a win against the Packers, though, to say that he's beat like most teams.
Okay, so
in
if the Steelers win, then Aaron Rodgers gets the last laugh.
I mean, it's a preseason game. No.
I'm going to go under 40.5. I have no reason why.
Sloppy football over.
Over. All right. I'm only doing this for you because I'm surprised by this.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
The Titans are the worst team in football, right? Even the Dolphins, I think, are, in that category.
Jets are there.
Jets, okay. Titans are favored by 6 at the Niners tonight. Why is that?
Goodness.
Is Cam Ward going to play the whole game?
Probably because none of their starters are going to play.
Yeah. Are they worried about Kyle Shanahan not being able to negotiate the sidelines? Anyway, It's just hard for me to believe the Titans, even in a preseason game, could ever beat the 49ers by a touchdown on the road. So I'm going to take the Titans anyway, because that's what's going to happen, since I don't believe it.
I'll go with my
You're going to go with
Niners.
your team?
Of course.
Good for you, Scrabe.
All
right. We're up on the Gambit stuff there. And speaking of football, a couple of stories that I think are worth touching on. One of them, I could see how people out there are going to think that Jaden Daniels is just a crybaby.
Oh, yes.
So we'll talk about whether he is a crybaby or not. And why am I shocked even that this has happened? It has
You're
to do
shocked?
with LSU. No, I'm not. It's LSU. It's Lane Kiffin. He's already in the middle of some controversy. We're still a month away from the season starting.
Okay, you're going to have to explain to how he's involved other than one aspect of it. But
All right,
I
well,
feel
we'll
like he's kind of in the clear on this one.
He's never in the clear.
Okay.
He's never in the clear. Don't kid yourself. All right, we will discuss that story if you didn't hear about Jaden Daniels. And the news on Deshaun Watson and the Browns.
Wait. You're telling me that the Browns have a quarterback controversy involving Deshaun Watson?
How many people out there just thought he's no longer even a member of the Browns?
I think a lot
like
of
he
people.
signed the deal, what was it, 6 years ago now?
That's a good question.
Before
It was
all
a
of this
long
stuff
time
came
ago.
out about the massages and everything that grossed out all of us, and basically sent Deshaun Watson, to cover for the, we thought the rest of time.
Yep.
But
I'm
here
looking
he
to
is.
see when he signed this.
He's still making that money.
2022.
Right? So
signed,
it's been
Chris.
5 years since all of that, or 4 years since all of that.
Actually, he's in his last year of his contract.
Well,
so they can get rid of him after this year. I have a feeling the Browns just
how
keep
much
saying,
money did he make?
Oh, I'll tell you.
He hasn't taken a snap, has he?
I'll tell you. 5 years. Yeah, he has. 5 years, $230 million, $230 million guaranteed. Like every single penny of that.
$230 million.
And this was after everything was found out about the whole massage stuff.
Oh my God. The next time I say somebody in sports is dumb, remind me that the Browns exist. Because that's dumb.
That is dumb.
Yeah.
All right, we'll tell you about the Jaden Daniels on the other side.
Both of those stories.
Okay.
Coming up. obviously was great. Padres beat the Brewers 4-3. We're going to revisit that with notes on a scorecard coming up in about 5 minutes. Chris Ello, Mr. Scraby today. Bill Howe Studios, We Know How. Tony Gwynn Jr. was down in Phoenix yesterday watching his daughter soccer debut with a victory. Grand Canyon over Arizona 2-0. We're going to create a whole legion of Grand Canyon women's soccer fans
Grand
around
Canyon
here.
had no idea what they were getting.
Yeah, right.
They're
going to get the whole thing. So Tony is now, assuming, on his way to Cleveland to join the Padres for the game tomorrow.
I tracked their flight from last night, and
you love doing that for sure.
They got in at 2:10 a.m. So
2:10.
Yes,
that's 11 o'clock Pacific time. Big deal.
I guess you're right.
All guests on the show joined us on the SDCCU fan hotline. Not big bank banking. It's better. You soccer fans, if you just tuned in, you want to go back and listen to Brian Dunseth from MLS on Apple TV. Joined us about an hour ago.
I got a text
with some good
saying
stuff.
They really liked him because he seemed like he was so excited about talking about it, which I will buy in. Like, I will be all in on what he was talking about because he really wanted to talk about it.
But everybody that's been on from MLS, I think Apple's been just like that.
Fantastic.
But Brian was good as well. All right, 2 quick football stories, although I don't know I can do them quickly. One, Deshaun Watson was named the starter for the Browns in the preseason opener. New coach Todd Monken says Shedeur Sanders will start the second game.
Oh, we're doing this thing.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. We're doing both.
I'm saying we're doing the thing where they say he's the starter, but then they're starting Shedeur in the second game.
Yeah, they didn't say he's the starter at all.
Wait, I thought that's what you said, that he was named the starter.
He's the starter for the first game.
Gotcha. All right,
I was confused. Shedeur the second game.
Okay.
Todd Monken says whoever plays better will have the inside track on being the actual starter.
I'm a little slow today.
Yes, you are. But Deshaun Watson, it is really incredible. This has followed him for his life, and I don't know that it's ever going to stop following him. We're talking about all of the terribly troubling, let's just say, allegations that were made against this man now 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And the fact that the Browns were more than ecstatic to give him $230 million guaranteed despite it all.
Yeah.
And
also wrote into his contract, if any suspension comes down, Deshaun Watson will not forfeit his guaranteed money or bonus. So they really helped him.
I can say this, Deshaun Watson's agent, my goodness.
Give him a raise.
I mean, imagine going in under those circumstances and saying, hey, you're going to give my client $230 million. Never mind. Oh, nothing to see here.
Yeah.
With all of this other
I can't
stuff.
believe that
the
more I think about this deal from the Browns, it might be the worst deal in sports just because of
history.
Just because of how Deshaun Watson was being seen at the time. The Cleveland fans hated it.
The Cleveland fans to this day hate that.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to be reminded of it now in the opening preseason game. I'm surprised here. I didn't even know this. Deshaun Watson actually has played 19 games for the Browns.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know he played that many.
No,
I thought he played
0. I believe he tore an Achilles one year.
Well, it's been anyway. The Browns gotten what they deserve for bringing him in.
Browns are the Browns.
I've said this a million times, unless I guess you're talking about a Jordan or somebody, and there's a few guys like it, but you don't have to take guys that are problem people. There are other really good players that aren't that way.
Agree.
So look around. You'll find them.
Yeah, agree.
All right, Jaden Daniels' story is interesting, and we have 3 minutes to talk about it, so we'll do our best. Jaden Daniels wore number 5 when he won the Heisman Trophy at LSU. And we now know Jaden Daniels has gone on, and he's off to a hell of a good start in his pro career. There's a young man named DJ Pickett. He's a cornerback, and he has been given number 5 to wear. And the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels, although saying this isn't going to be a distraction, is complained about this basically, or at least the Jaden Daniels camp has.
Yes.
And there's a big thing going on. So is Jaden Daniels like just being a baby here? Like, all right, good. You won the Heisman, number 5. They didn't retire your number. It's available. Or is there more happening here? And there's a couple of things. First, I would love to blame it all on Lane Kiffin because I can't stand him. But in this case, I'm giving Lane Kiffin an excuse.
Okay.
He says that former coach Brian Kelly.
Oh, so he passed the buck.
Well, he says that Brian Kelly promised Pickett, the young cornerback, that if he came to LSU, he could wear number 5. So it's Brian Kelly who promised it. Lane Kiffin's like, there's not much I can do. It was promised to him. Here's the thing, though. Before you say Jaden Daniels is being a baby, Pickett says he's a sophomore by then now. Pickett is.
Okay.
He says, I've worn this number my whole life since I was 4 years old. It's the number I was promised by LSU. That is all true. But here's what else is true. He wore number 3 last year as a freshman. What happened there?
Yeah, why make the big deal now?
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm having a little issue here.
I do have an issue with that.
He apparently was able to play okay wearing number 3 last year. He was a freshman All-American. But now, well, I've worn number 5 my whole life. Well, no, you haven't. You wore number 3 last year.
That is true. I didn't know that part of the story.
There's so many little ins and outs here. I will still say, if I'm Lane Kiffin, walk in, sit down with Pickett. I mean, his dad's involved, and we're not changing our number, and we're this. I mean, the Pickett is dad. You know, like Pickett, because of the NIL, is a corporation, I'm sure. He's making more money than Lane Kiffin, maybe. But again, coaches to me, and if it was promised by Brian Kelly, I see where Lane Kiffin is coming from. But I would like to try to just negotiate something out here.
Can we go back and just see
and have more respect for Jaden Daniels, who brought me a Heisman Trophy and a lot of positive nature to this school.
I get it. They did not win a national championship.
No,
they lost like 4 games the year he played for LSU.
Right?
Does he even deserve to have his number retired?
That's another way. But let me ask you this. Kawhi Leonard's number is now retired, but it wasn't for a while. He didn't win a national championship, but he did put San Diego State basketball on the map.
He did.
I would have felt some type of way. I think anybody would have if some kid came in, and this was a different time because the kids didn't have the same NIL. But if some kid came in and told Fisher, hey, I'll play here, but I'm wearing number 15. Like, no, you're not. And I've always worn it. And I'm like, no, that was represented by somebody bigger than you.
Yeah, I get that. I get that
that's where the story is. I don't know.
Because Kawhi Leonard changed San Diego State basketball.
Yeah, well,
so I understand
Daniels
that.
Won a Heisman
he did
Trophy.
not
It's
change LSU football.
All right.
He didn't. And the fact that you think that you're so important that your number's not even retired yet. LSU has to wait 5 years before they retire your number. That you're so important that no one is allowed to wear your number.
All right. I think who you're mad at is Jaden Daniels' mom because you don't like her because she's his agent and you think she's a little bit overbearing.
I do think that she is driving all of this.
She's a little overbearing.
Jaden Daniels does not seem like a selfish guy. I feel like she's driving this.
But here's a picture of DJ Pickett last year wearing number 3. So this whole quote, I've worn it my whole life. I can't get out of bed unless I'm wearing number 5 is just a crock because he wore number 3 last year just fine.
That is funny. That is really funny. Did he think that no one was going to go check what he wore?
Lane Kiffin is kind of funny on this one. Lane's like, man, I got more problems than, I know what to do with. I don't even need this one. This was the old coach. But it's still Lane Kiffin in the middle of a hullabaloo, So.
Well, David's saying on the chat too that what is his Heisman not important? Not really. Sorry.
I agree with the chat.
But
I think bringing a Heisman.
Said the Heisman for years is a nothing trophy.
Well, the trophy may not be, but the allure of the Heisman does bring eyeballs and prestige to your university.
Who won the Heisman last year?
Mendoza, Indiana.
Dang it! You got me.
That's about the only one
I
I
was
could
going
have
to say
got.
the year before that.
Don't ask me because I can't go back that far.
I am not saying you have to remember who won, but the Heisman
I think it's an
Trophy
interesting-
is not the same award.
I'm going to say it's an interesting story. There's a lot of different sides you can be on, and you could actually be on more than one side in this story. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think what's going to end up happening, though, Pickett's going to wear number 5 because the NIL thing, he and his father will just say, well, we're taking our talents elsewhere. The kids have more power than the teams now.
It's insane, but it's true.
Yeah. All right. Notes on a scorecard.
Everybody's waiting.
From a great baseball game yesterday. We got it next.
Ben and Wood.
notes on a scorecard from yesterday's classic. And I think, it's one baseball game, but you'll see why as I go through some of this. Just really enjoyed that game. There was so much to it. So many, little crazy things that happened. A lot of strategy. So that's what Notes and Scorecard's all about. I sit there, I watch the game. I think stuff pops into my head and I jot it down.
Show everybody the stack.
Normally I jot down in like 3 or 4 pages, but this one's like 12 pages.
Yeah, you could definitely make a fan out of them.
There was a lot going on in that game yesterday. I got one little problem here, Scraby.
Uh-oh,
Go ahead
wrong?
and play the open, but
Okay.
the pages got mixed up, the order of them.
Oh, no.
And now I don't know if I can straighten it out in time.
Here we go.
What did Chris like? What does Chris want to clean up? Observations written on a grocery list. Notes on a scorecard starts now.
Did you figure it out yet?
I hope so.
Right.
If I go from the first inning to the 7th, you'll know that I didn't figure it out. Great game yesterday, and if you were late, you missed the beginning of the greatness. Second batter of the game, and as Don Orsillo likes to say, don't hit it into the Crone zone.
Yep.
Great catch,
Yes.
right? Diving,
Full
soft line
extension.
drive by Terang. Just got the game off and rolling. And I wrote this down. It didn't come to play necessarily in the end, but I do feel this. Of all the players in baseball, Jake Cronenworth is one of the players that can help you win a game and go 0 for 4. And there are not a lot of guys that you can say that about.
Yeah, he can.
And
definitely.
that is part of his value to this team. Bottom of the first inning, Rengifo leads off with a hit. It was an infield hit, but that equaled the number that Dustin May gave the Padres the last game when he shut them out on a one-hitter. I don't know if you remember the play, but Rengifo hit it over into the hole. Joey Ortiz, the third baseman, caught it, spun around, and he's no Manny Machado because he threw the ball 25 feet wide of the base.
It wasn't even close.
Not even close. As I wrote down here, he was lucky to keep that throw in the ballpark. It could have hit a parked car.
Yeah,
it was so far off.
That was a funny throw.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I have to do this. And if you follow notes on the scorecard, you'll recognize it. But the inning ended on a 6-4-3 double play ground ball by Manny Machado, who wasn't even in the picture on TV running up the first base line.
I thought about that so
when
many
the throw
times
was
last
made.
night.
And look, I can't win because you guys say Manny shouldn't run, but it drives me crazy. What can I tell you? At least he could have been in the picture. Top of the second inning.
That's the funniest part to me. I assumed that he had already made it.
Right. If you can find the beginning of that game, watch the ground ball. The shortstop gets it. He throws to second. Second baseman throws to first. And as the camera pans over, like, where's Manny? He's not even there.
I know. And then there he is. He's on the bottom of the screen.
Unbelievable. All right. This is one I'm going to have to accept. Top of the second, the Sanchino homers, but not for the Padres. He did it for the Brew Crew. And Robbie Ray threw the pitch 94 miles an hour. And if you look at it again, you can go back if you want. It dotted the absolute middle of the box. You can't throw it there to a major league hitter, and I don't care how many miles per hour it is.
Yep.
And that's why I think it's so funny that we spend so much time. He throws this hard. He throws that hard. Okay, great. But if you put it there where Robbie Ray did, chances are it's going to be a home run. That's how good these big league hitters are. Bottom of the second inning, Ty France gets the second hit. So now they're ahead of the Dustin May.
We're feeling good at this point.
Yeah. Still losing 1-0. By the way, Jackson Merrill hits into the easiest double play of all time. Right to the shortstop, steps on second, throws the first. But guess who ran all the way? Jackson Merrill sprinted, almost beat the play.
He did.
He was only out by a step. Again, I'm just going to say I appreciate Jackson Merrill. That's the old-fashioned way to play the game. And, I'm not going to harp on Manny. Top of the third, Hamilton gets a lead double Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. Ty France dives and takes the hit away down the first base line. How many plays has this guy made?
Is he going for another Gold Glove this year?
I think he should. I don't watch every game, but I mean, Ty France has been as good as he's been on offense, where he bats cleanup now. He's hitting 290. He is so clearly the team MVP because of his defense too.
Yeah,
fantastic. Let's see. Later in the inning, Churio, it's a chopper to third. Manny gets it. Manny Cadillacs it just a little.
He does.
Throws it to first. Well, Churio is not like Manny. Churio runs. He almost beat it out. I know he was out. But again, I appreciate play hard. You never know what's going to happen. Later in that inning, Terang got a 2-out RBI single, 2-0. Merrill overran the ball. Terang ended up on third base. Remember that?
I do, yeah.
Sorry. Manny would have barely made it to second because he would have been jogging to first. And I know it's different, and I'm going to stop it. That's it. I still love you, Manny, but I wish you ran to first base. Bottom of the third, the Western Metal Supply Company building, along with everything else, is where hanging curveballs go to die. Even Xander Bogaerts, who hadn't homered barely in 3 months, hit a hanging curveball into the Western Metal building.
Can't say I expected that.
I didn't either, but you hang a curveball to a big league hitter, even if they're that ice cold. They'll homer. The only run the Padres got off Dustin May in 2 games. Top of the fourth, Bowers leads off with a walk, and it was close on the check swing. And they showed it from above, and I thought that he did go around. Mark Grant said a really cool quote here. He said, the problem is there's no definition in the rule book about what is a check swing. And he's right. It is totally arbitrary here for the umpire to decide down the first base or third base line whether that was a swing. And I don't know if you can fix it, but it reminds me of the NFL, where we don't know where to place the football in a pile. We just put it somewhere.
We just hope we got it right.
There's no definition of actually where the ball goes.
I know
this is a different version of it. In the NFL, it's far more important because games can be decided on where the ball's placed.
Check swing is pretty darn important.
But the check swing can be important too. You're right.
It ended the Giants' season in the playoffs years ago against the Dodgers.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. But I didn't think Bowers, I think he should have struck out. Anyway, he walked. And the next guy walked, Contreras. But Robbie Ray walks guys. So get used to it. Also get used to the fact that he retired the next 3 hitters and did not give up a run. Certain guys know how to pitch with guys on base. Certain guys don't. Robbie Ray, I trust him with men on base. And he got out of that inning. All right, bottom of the fourth, you had bases loaded thanks to an error by Hamilton. Should have made an easy double play, fumbled the ball. Austin Hayes is up. 5-4-3 double play. Third double play of the game in 4 innings.
That was hard to watch.
But also give a little credit to Dustin May right there. If you're a pitcher and the guy kicks away a certain inning-ending double play, now you have bases loaded. You could give up 5 runs now.
Yeah.
But he bared down, made a good pitch, got out of the inning. That's called picking up your teammate.
I'm impressed by Dustin May.
So, he's not been good except against the Padres this year.
I guess
frankly,
you're right.
If you look at the rest of it.
I've only seen him do pitch against the Padres twice, and he's
right.
been
He looks
great.
amazing, for sure. Top of the 5th inning, we got Bradley into the game, and Ortiz at the plate makes the first of many stupid challenges by the Brewers. A 1-1 pitch leading off an inning is not a challengeable pitch, even if you think you're right.
Yeah.
But he was wrong, and now the Brewers are down a challenge. And good. The only thing that made me feel better is that the Padres are not the only ones who do dumb challenges.
Yeah, we've seen a few teams this year.
Yeah.
Recently, too.
On this day, though, the Padres were doing good challenges, and then the inning ended on a Fermin challenge to strike out Bryce Terang. Fermin ended up striking out 3 guys yesterday on challenges.
They need a catcher strikeout stat.
Do you know that Fermin has been correct now 9 out of the last 11 challenges?
So I guess, can we say anything until he goes back into the bad zone?
Do you know how many he got right out of the 8 before that?
0?
0. So
there was a stretch where it was not great.
He's just on a hot streak right now. I hope it holds up on the challenges for Mr. Fermin. We're into the top of the 7, still 2-1. Again, Joey Ortiz is up. He hits a deep, long fly to left center field. I thought it might be a double. Luis Rengifo is an infielder, second baseman, basically. Goes back and just brings it in, no problem. This guy has become quite valuable. The inning ends on another Fermin strikeout challenge. They get Churio to end the inning. Bottom of the 7th, Merrill is the tying run. I thought he's going to do it. 2-0 count. But give credit to Mays. He came back and got him in a big battle there. They held on to the 2-1 lead into the 8th. Kyle Hart came in. Why? I was concerned. High leverage spot. Kyle Hart also then walked the leadoff hitter. I'm like, no, don't do this.
I'm going to defend him.
This could be game over.
I'm going to defend him. He has been much better than people have given him credit for.
You don't have to defend that. My concern is that he hasn't been put in this situation very much.
Fair.
And that's can be difficult, in a big game like this. He also had to face Andrew Vaughn after the walk.
Yeah.
Vaughn is the number 1 hitter in baseball against left-handed pitching.
Not comfortable at all.
But he struck him out. Give Kyle Hart credit for getting through that top of the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th, after the 4th double play of the game, the Padres get something going with 2 outs. And it is Tatis, who's basically almost intentionally walked there.
Yeah, it was 4 straight pitches.
Pinch hitting.
Not even close.
Rengifo, 9 pitches to get his walk. And then Jake, after the runners move up to second and third, 9 more pitches. Ashby doesn't cover first base in time. I can't tell you how many times that drives me crazy, but it helped the Padres tie the game at 2.
And all he did was just hesitate for a half second.
Did you hear after the game?
No, I didn't. What happened?
Something I did not know until today. Pat Murphy said after the game, that's the 5th time this year that Ashby has failed to get over to first base in time.
Wow.
5th.
That's
his own manager called him out.
You would think you would get that under control, especially when you're losing games.
Basically cost you the game yesterday in a lot of ways. Wow. Once again, the runners moved up on a wild pitch. Second and third, 3-2 count. I thought they might walk Manny there and face a lefty on deck. But they went after him, and Manny grounded out. P.S. He didn't really run to first base. Top of the 9th inning, we got Mason Miller in. He's struggling, right? He's throwing ball. But Niebla came out, calmed him down. Every time Niebla comes out, the next 5 pitches are going to be strikes.
Yeah.
And inning over. Bottom of the 9th, it's getting tougher now because now you're hitting in the shadows. But Padres can't score there. I'm going a little quicker here.
Should we just finish the extra innings on the other side?
Okay, yeah. I'll finish the 9th inning, and then we'll do extra innings on the other side. McGill, who came in, by the way, had retired 19 straight batters coming into that appearance, and he's not given up a home run all year. Same for Mason Miller on the no home run, by the way. There's some pretty good pitchers out there in relief. Game almost ended in the bottom of the 9th. I'll explain why when we come back. Way here, I know people are calling in. They think it's time for Chris versus the fans. It will be shortly, but we're going to finish up our notes on a scorecard, recapping the game that was yesterday's 4-3 win for the Padres over the Brewers. So we'll finish up with a few of those. Then we'll go to Chris versus the fans. We're going to give you a chance, if you win that, to qualify. Or do you actually win the tickets? Sorry, not qualify.
No, you
win tickets to the Padre Pirate game.
Yes,
on Monday, August 24th. So it's a good day to play Chris versus the fans. I'll tell you when to dial in and get yourself in line for that. NFL preseason beginning in earnest tonight in terms of there's a few games, including your 49ers taking on the Titans later.
I'm honestly not sure I'm even going to look at the box score.
Okay. You don't have, I mean, there's no reason to.
No. There is no reason.
Would you, like, if you're flipping this channel and it's on delayed, would you watch like 5 minutes just to see what you guys look like, or does that even matter?
If I was flipping by, yeah, I would stop for a second.
But you wouldn't go out of your way to watch.
No,
it.
I used to be hardcore, Chris. I used to like sit in front of the TV waiting for that game.
Right, but not
anymore.
You've reached the age of reason now.
Yes,
you don't need to watch preseason games. I'm
an adult now, Chris.
I will at least give some of the fans in Pittsburgh some credit if what I'm seeing is accurate. Steelers are getting ready to play the Packers. There is no one in the stands. Like, it is all yellow seats. That's all you see behind these players warming up on the field.
Because no one cares.
Of course they don't.
About going to the preseason games are fun for little kids.
But right. That is a good
yes.
You know what? And parents should take little kids.
Yes.
It's a great experience for a little kid to get up close to some players maybe and just be at a game. Good call. Other than that, if you're over the age of 21, it's like putting ketchup on your hot dog. Shouldn't do it anymore.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
No, I knew. It was,
okay.
I'm fine with the mustard. When I went to the Padres game on Monday, I got a hot dog. It was so hot, Chris. It was
the name.
So
it wasn't
hot.
a cold dog.
No,
it was a hot dog.
People be careful when picking up your hot dogs.
Understand
it was
hot dog. All right, let's finish up the one quick other note that I wanted to pass along. Cubs lost to the Nats 7-0 today. The note there, Kevin Gausman made his second start for the Cubs, and he didn't pitch well. Most of these guys that have signed the big trade guys, pitchers at least, hasn't gone well yet.
It has not, no.
Skubal, Gausman today. Freddie Peralta's been knocked around twice now.
Yeah.
We saw, Robbie Ray still getting comfortable. Casey Mize as well. So,
I think Casey Mize has pitched well, or pitched the best out of all of them.
Well, the first game.
Yeah, I guess
he would beg to differ.
Never mind. I was going to say, when you combine it with the first game,
right.
No.
All right, let's return and finish up the notes on the scorecard because we left off in the bottom of the ninth inning. And, of course, the game was tied by that point. And there was a play in the bottom of the ninth inning that to this moment right now I do not understand. And Brian Lawrence brought it up on the round table today. But Jace Bowen should have been the hero of that game yesterday. Not once, but twice. Now, one of the times you'll remember, he hit the fly ball with the winning run on second, line drive center field. When he hit it, you thought that's in, game over. And a really nice catch by Mitchell, their center fielder, dives, saves the game. But a couple of pitches before that, what you may not remember is that Bowen hit a hard ground ball right down the third base line. And the ball bounced fair until the last jump. And then it either went over the bag or just an inch to the left and bounced foul.
Yes.
Understand that the rule is if it bounces over the bag, it can land foul. It's still a fair ball if it bounces over the bag. The replay I saw, the replay they showed on TV, I didn't think it was even much of an argument. I thought it was clearly a fair ball. You can't really argue this is not a reviewable thing. Again, I would say, why not? You have supposedly the technology. I think the ump missed it. It's a 50-50 bang, but I think he missed it. I think the game should have been over right then and there. And I feel bad for Bowen, who had a real chance to be the hero there in the ninth inning. But I'm not sure what you do about this, Scraby. It's kind of, again, I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, that spotting the ball in football. These things matter. And we're in a day and age now where everything has to be right. We have to review everything. We have to challenge everything. We have to look at replay. But here's a big thing right there. The game almost was taken away from the Padres there.
I honestly just moved forward with it because no one made a big deal about it. So I was like, it must have been foul.
It wasn't, though. I don't think. Take another look at it.
You can't say it wasn't and then say I don't think.
Well, Brian Lawrence backed me up today.
Yeah.
No, he backed me up today. He said, I thought the game was over.
I'm not going to deny that you might be right.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, the game it went on into the 10th inning. Never mind. All right. Again, the Brewers played like this all year. They would not have the best record.
Correct.
But why Bryce Terang's trying to steal third with nobody out in the 10th inning, I don't get it. I don't want to even throw Fernando under the bus because he did it earlier in the year, but this just was stupid. You're already in scoring position.
And Bryce Terang's a smart player.
Let the guy move you up. Ground ball, get the third, come in. No, he goes for third. Camposano got him pretty easy, although took a good throw, but it was made.
Yep.
You can't risk that there.
No.
Now, all of a sudden, you're looking at a scoreless inning, which is what they got.
When you're the visiting team, you are at such a disadvantage in extra innings.
I think so, unless the home team is dumber than you. And in this case, in the bottom of the 10th inning with the score tied, Bowen was now the ghost runner because he made the last out the inning before. Xander Bogaerts lays down a bunt to move him to oh, wait, no, he doesn't.
I was going to say,
what the hell was that? I haven't seen an explanation. I read every story in the paper I could get my hands on today to see if anyone asked about it. I don't get it. And now, if he had doubled off the wall and won the game right there, I still would have thought he should have bunted. It's a no-brainer. You move the winning run to third, and he flied out, and now you got nothing out of it.
I would be willing to bet that they would have said, if you asked, that he was swinging it well that day.
He was, huh? He had one hit, so I guess he was.
It was a home run. I get what you're saying. I would have bunted too.
I honestly almost don't care if that was Tony Gwynn Sr. up. You have to get that run to third base somehow to win the game.
Especially when you're not
winning the game that is at stake here. I just don't understand why he was swinging. And if Stammen didn't give him the bunt sign, then to me this is on Stammen. And if he had the bunt sign and he swung anyway, then that's crap. But either way, it was bad. And, of course, the Padres didn't score in that inning. Tatis came up next. Well, first base was going to be open either way. They were walking him no matter what.
All the way.
So they walked him. Now it's Rengifo. Well, he's a pretty motivated hitter going against, again, the team that released him. But this time they got him out. So it came down to who was the next? Oh, Jake. Yeah, Jake Cronenworth to win the game. First, Bowen steals third. Tatis steals second. Why? What are we doing?
I don't know.
And everybody was like, well, that gets him closer to scoring. Yes, but if he had been out, the inning would have been over. What are we doing? A base hit wins the game. I don't like dumb baseball.
Can't answer that one for you.
Jake flied out either way. And in a sense, didn't matter, but you get where I'm coming from here. Baseball's, you got to be smarter than that, I think.
You never want to make the last out at third.
And Bowen was only safe by an inch. His foot almost came off the bag. I don't know why we're even doing that. Of course, he should have been a third a long time ago, but Bogaerts wouldn't bunt him. So people like notes on a scorecard because they get mad.
Yeah,
that makes me mad. That stuff.
And people don't understand. It legitimately makes them mad.
Yeah, I don't like bad baseball. I like good baseball, which we saw mostly yesterday. Top of the 11th, little luck for them. Sanchino double hits the bag. So there's no argument whether it went over or not. This hit the bag, so it's a double. And then we talked about it earlier. Morejon's job to get out of the inning with the strikeouts. Fantastic. And I also want to give a little credit in that same run there to Campusano, who blocked about 16 pitches in a row.
He definitely did.
To keep runners from moving up. And stuff that you don't really notice, but without it, you don't win the game. So, Campusano in the top of the inning, but you still need a run in the bottom of the 11th to tie it up. And, what are you going to do now? You got the tying run at second, but if you bunt that over now, it only ties the game. So you swing. And Manny hits a ground ball to short. That was a great base running play by Cronenworth. You don't know how good it was. That was 50-50. And if he doesn't go, now he's stuck at second.
Mm-hmm.
He had to read that in an instant and get the jump and go to third on that ground ball. I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. Jake Cronenworth helps you win a game even when he goes 0 for 4. He got the third. He had to get the third, and he did. That was huge. Ty France gets hit by a pitch. Gee, that's never happened before.
He's really picked that up lately.
Every time. Song pinch runs. That turned out to be a really good move by Craig Stammen. But you got first and third. You still need to tie the game. Jackson Merrill wins it. He hits it over the right fielder's head. Game's over. Song scores from first. Padres went, oh, wait a minute. That was one of the better catches I've seen all year by that kid, Lara, from Milwaukee.
I can't believe he did. I didn't
can't
know
believe he caught it.
He's 5'7", too, so he had
What
every
a
inch
catch.
of himself up there.
Great catch. Did get the run in to tie it, but now Song is at first with 2 outs. Sun Moon Song steals second. That was the play there. You need to take that risk to get into scoring position with 2 outs. Why? Because when Campusano singles to right, you win. And that was the end of a fantastic game.
It's also not easy to get from first to third. That's a long run.
Well, I mean, you mean to score from
first to
yeah,
home.
from score from first, you need a
first
double.
To third's easy.
Well, you need a double off the wall.
Yeah.
But if you steal second, now a bloop, anything will get you in. It was a risk. That's a risk worth taking. And Song pulled it off. And I appreciate Ben Higgins said this on the roundtable today. It was a win. And it seemed like all 26 guys on the roster had a little something to do with it.
They did.
Fernando off the bench, Bowen off the bench, Song off the bench, Campusano. They were all off the bench. They all contributed. 7 bullpen guys, shut them out. Everyone was in on this one yesterday.
That was nice. And I wish Chase Bowen would have walked it off. He deserves something really good to happen.
Well, in my mind, he did walk it off. It just didn't get recorded by the official people because that was a fair ball.
What was the result of his at bat? Do you remember?
Yes, he hit the line drive to center that the guy dove and caught.
Okay.
He got out twice on magical things.
Poor guy.
I know.
Great notes on a scorecard, Chris. Very in depth.
Hope everybody liked it. I liked watching.
Oh, we got a nice conversation going on about hustle on the chat right now.
Goodness. Yeah, well, I don't even know why there's a discussion, but there is. Seems like a no-brainer to me. Should you run hard? Yes. Period. Hit the return button and move on to the next subject. Gwynn and Chris. All right. We moved it back, but we're still doing Chris versus the Fans. So dial in 833-288-0973 if you want to play. 5 o'clock tonight, and then you'll hear today's roundtable featuring a former Padre pitcher. Brian Lawrence was on. I will share with you out there that I really was impressed with Brian Lawrence. I mean, smart, had really interesting to say, and I think we're going to try to get him on our show, talk some baseball down the stretch. He lives locally in Poway. And,
wow.
Yeah, terrific.
Another Powegian.
Well, he's not originally, obviously, from Poway, but he's living there now. And, yeah, really impressed with the job he did. So many people have come on that show all year.
Are you saying that everyone before
the rest of them
him
sucked?
were terrible?
Yeah, everybody was terrible until today.
Sure
Brian Lawrence was the first good one. We made fun of the Field of Dreams game, or I did. I will say it was pretty cool, man. They walked out all these Hall of Famers out on the field. And anytime you see Hall of Famers, and, it's just fun to see them. And Trevor's there.
Yep.
So, Raleigh Fingers, former Padre, was out there. And, just fun to see great old players and still being honored and part of the game. And Jim Tomei, Larry Walker was there, Lee Smith, Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland the wind was blowing, but his hair was a little disheveled.
Billy Wagner.
Billy Wagner didn't have enough hair to be disheveled, but his hair was blowing around too. Ivan Rodriguez, Cal Ripken. Anyway, lots of them. I will tell you, every time I see something like that, I get a tinge of sadness because I know Tony, his dad, would be somebody that would want to go to something like that probably.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's too bad. All right, let's play Chris vs. the Fans here, and you can go see the Padres Pirates on August 24th.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know Gen 4.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
The great Hambino just sent me a text, Chris, with something I'm going to have to do later.
The Hambino?
Yes.
What's he got?
Pablo Torre put out a video, deep dive into the electrical substation next to the 49ers practice field.
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to have to watch this. Even Chris said the other day when he saw the substation, he's like, wow, that is actually a substation.
Yeah, I always thought it kind of dismissed it, but they showed a shot of the 49ers training camp, and that substation towers over the 49er camp.
It does. It does.
So I kind of now see why it's become a thing.
This offseason, people have gone back and looked at injuries and significantly more injuries since they've moved to that location than
I think
before.
It's pretty clear that Kyle Shanahan was being affected by the substation when he erroneously drove his car into a pole or whatever he did, or hit that lady.
Tesla, he was on autopilot, Chris.
Yeah, so Tesla should take some of the blame.
Pony up, Tesla. All right, the rules: you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult as you go along. If you get the question right, you move on. If Chris gets it right, or if you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you have a chance at question number 3, and you will still win.
That's what you get for trying to read it off the top of your head.
I know. Now that I've gone to the online only version, I keep forgetting to pull it up. If you're a first time player
or contestant
or entrant or combatant, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that question for free today.
All
right, Chris, 1 through 6. Let's start, and then we go in order.
3.
Let's go to Caden. Hello, Caden.
Hey, Caden.
Hello.
Are you ready to play?
Let's play ball.
Yes, sir, I am.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Which Padres infielder currently has a .295 batting average?
I'm going to go with Ty France.
He's going with Ty.
Is correct.
That's how you go.
It's not Manny. It's not Manny.
No. It's not Bogarts either, or Cronenworth, frankly. All 3 of them have not had great batting averages.
Not had great batting averages at all. All right, here we go for Caden to get question number 2. In 1990, this legendary father-son duo made Major League history by hitting back-to-back home runs in the same game. Who are they?
That's Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. out there.
All right.
Caden's on this.
Caden's on this.
Where are you from, Caden? I like it.
Oh, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas, but
There we
moved down to
go.
San Diego a little while back.
Hey,
All
a
right.
little tip of the cap to Little Rock and, the home of Billy Ray Smith, Arkansas.
didn't-
Well, he played college down there, and I know Billy Ray was very close to Arkansas. All right, good job, Caden. One more for the title here.
All right, question number 3. On July 17th, 1941, Joe DiMaggio's historic 56-game hitting streak was snapped. What team held him hitless that day?
Not bad question, Scrape. I like it. I think Caden can get it, but it's a good one.
I'm gonna go with the Orioles.
The Orioles. Stay there, Caden.
Yeah. I think I know this because I've heard it before. I think it's the Tribe, Cleveland Indians, I think. Yeah. Sorry, Caden.
Sorry, Caden. That was great.
Caden was really good,
Play again.
and nice having you. He's from San Diego now, but I could tell some of that Little Rock twang there was fun to hear.
I drove through Little Rock one time going to Ohio, and it was the heaviest rain I have ever been in my entire life.
Not expected that.
No, I was driving, and to the point where I was definitely the California guy who pulled over because I couldn't see out of my windshield.
Is the welcome and exit sign for Little Rock the same sign? Welcome is on this side. It's not very big, is it?
No, it's not very big.
Little Rock, it can't be that big.
But it was crazy, that rain. I've never
quick
seen
note for Caden there, because I appreciate him as a player. The Baltimore Orioles did not exist in 1941.
I didn't want to say it,
that was a little tough break for him.
Didn't want to say
They
it.
did in the form of the St. Louis Browns, but they were not yet the Orioles.
All right, let's go to the next one. Antonio. Hello, Antonio.
How's it going?
Hi,
Pretty good?
Antonio.
Ready to play?
He's ready. Sounds like
Yep.
he's
All right.
going.
Let's see here. What Ohio City hosts the Hall of Fame game?
You're talking football.
Yes.
Okay. Football Hall of Fame game. Where is it?
Canton, Ohio.
Yep.
Canton, Ohio.
Got it.
I think
Very
I've already
good.
asked that, but I don't care. Question number 2 incoming.
I like the Twins unis tonight in the Field
they
of
are
Dreams.
nice.
They look great.
It's very windy, and the wind is blowing straight in, so there's not going to be many homers tonight.
All right.
All right. What team did Brett Favre play for after he left the Packers? The first team that he played for after
First
the
team.
Packers. Yes.
You said Brett Favre?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Brett Favre.
First team.
Atlanta Falcons.
No, after he left.
After he left the Packers.
Give you another shot at this.
After
the
he
Packers.
left the Packers.
It's a hard one because he played for a
the
few
Jets.
teams.
The Jets.
Said the Jets. Yes,
Correct.
All right.
Nice
I thought
job,
he had it,
Antonio.
but you hesitated. You tricked me there, Scrape.
No, it was definitely the
Jets.
Jets.
I remember he fumbled the ball
I know
away.
it was the Jets or the Vikings.
Yeah,
Yes,
you were
that's
right.
true.
I know he fumbled away the Dolphins 2008 division title in
You
the
know
final
that.
game that year.
You know
well, I know that because the last time the Dolphins won a division title.
I believe
So,
Greg Camarillo was in that game.
well, I remember it.
All right, let's go to our third and final question. All right, let's go with this. Actually, you know what, Chris? I need to stall for a second. I forgot to look something up.
All right, while you're stalling, let me just say that they had the Hall of Famers come out and missed a couple of Padre-connected Hall of Famers that were not there tonight, but Roberto Alomar's in the Hall of Fame in there. I didn't see Goose either. I love Goose, man. But it was great to see Trevor out there. He had his Padre uni on. And, Trevor still makes it look pretty good. Scrape, looking pretty good. Tony La Russa.
Yes.
I'm going to let everybody if you see a picture of Tony La Russa from tonight,
Wait, are you saying he's old?
He looks older than that.
He looks older than old?
Yeah. I'm trying to be as nice as I can.
That's very sad. That's very sad.
I don't think it's a sad look. It's just an incredibly old look. You have to see it to know what I'm talking about.
An incredibly old look.
I just hope that he made it to the buffet chow line okay. You know, Tony. He's gotta grab a bite to eat.
We saw him that one day at the Hall of Fame when he ignored
all
rules.
the signs. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Did you give
Antonio,
enough time there?
I'm sorry. Yes, I got
all right,
it
Antonio,
now.
here we go. For the Toddy, you're still in the game.
I confirmed it.
Still in the game.
Where did Craig Stammen play college baseball?
Craig Stammen. It's a tough one.
Oh my goodness.
Really tough one. I'll give him a clue.
You know this?
University of Dayton?
He got it.
Wow.
Never mind. I
All
don't
right,
have to give
Antonio
him a clue.
is the winner.
Antonio got it. Way to go, Antonio. Stay right there. You are going to go to the Pirates-Padres game in a couple of weeks. Well done.
Yeah, stay right there.
We are going to finish things up with our Big Five. There should be some fun stories left over, right, Scrape?
Yeah, we got a couple good stories
All right.
to get through.
We'll get into that when we return on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Wood.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little. Oh, the score box, yeah. Is that what it is, a score bug?
It's called a score bug, yeah.
Yeah.
And how they've developed over time.
Yeah. First of all, on the score bug, try to watch any game from the era before they existed. Remember we watched that Monday night game, you and I?
Yeah.
On NFL Network, Elway and Montana.
Yeah.
With no score bug. We had no idea what was happening.
We were like, how
all.
much time is left? What down is it?
Yeah, we couldn't figure anything out. But then go to the early invention of the score bug. And again, you can say what you want about Fox TV, Fox Sports. They came up with it. They get 100% credit. They were the first to use it. And I think people thought, what? But we couldn't be without it. But the original score bug was just this little tiny thing in the top corner that said SF0 MIA 35 because they gave the score Miami 35.
I was going to say it should be the other way around.
Right. But no, that's pretty much all it had. But at least it had something. Now
we have so the Netflix score bug is
now
different.
they're works of art. It seems like it looks like Van Gogh spent some time putting this Netflix one together.
They have who is up, they have who is pitching, the number of pitches, what the batter has done in the game, how fast the pitch is. The one thing this Netflix doesn't have, they don't have the challenges.
How many challenges are left?
You usually see the two little dots.
I will say the
now.
Padre score bug does have that information.
I think every other score bug does.
By the way, Scraby's scouting report for this Philly Twins game at the Field of Dreams was wind blowing in, no home runs. That prediction lasted all of one swing by Kyle Schwarber.
Yes, it did.
Who immediately homered into the corn
in
right field.
Yes,
so that game's underway.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to today's Big Five. We got to wrap things up, Scrabe.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how. And Chris, I did have a news story, but I cannot find it anywhere else, so I'm not sure if it's real or not. But it is.
Is it the one you just told me?
Yeah, but it's put.
So now you can't confirm
but
it.
it's put out through Yahoo Sports.
I wouldn't confirm. I wouldn't go with it. It's interesting.
Okay, I'll say reportedly.
Well, you have to give it all to Yahoo Sports. I don't see anything that.
All right, I'll just say anything.
Well, give it all to Yahoo Sports.
Oh wait, no, I found it. It is on their website. All
right.
All right. So
number 5.
Former Detroit Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold is planning to sign with the Seattle Seahawks while he is facing felony charges of kidnapping and armed robbery. So, again, this is just reports. He was arrested in Florida on June 24th.
Well, it's reports, but now the Seahawks are putting it on their own website.
Oh,
yes?
It's out there?
No, I thought you just said.
No, I'm saying I found it on the Yahoo website.
Got it.
Anyway, I feel good enough that it's on Yahoo.
All right.
But he was arrested. He was released on $1 million bond 5 days later. He was actually initially held without bond, and so the Lions ended up releasing him. Chris, my question is, what is my question?
I'm going to make you sweat this out.
I'm thinking of a way to not be such a hater.
Well, you don't like the Seahawks to begin with.
So what? I mean, is this a bad move in your eyes?
Yeah. I just go ahead and say it. Like, why? Can't we at least wait to see if the guy is exonerated in some way, shape, or form? He's facing life in prison, basically.
He kidnapped. Well, the charges
for
are
his
kidnapping.
potential role in this robbery, kidnapping, everything that happened. I know he didn't do it, and I know he has got all the rights, on the, in support of him. He's innocent until proven guilty, everything that goes with all of that. Okay. They also have the right to not have to sign him too. They don't, so I could see maybe the Seahawks thinking is, look, we're already a Super Bowl champ. If we can add like this and it works out, but why?
Can we not have any morals anymore?
Yeah,
Can we not have any backbone anymore?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Scrape, but I also don't want to throw away Terrion Arnold forever. He's 23 years old, and if he didn't do anything, then he should have a right to certainly come back and play. Now, and this is very early in this process because you're telling me it's reported.
Very.
But if I find out that the Seahawks are saying, look, we'll bring you in, but only when you're exonerated, then that's different.
I just think that when you are facing felony charges that are going to put you in prison the rest of your life, potentially, I don't think you qualify for an NFL job.
What did I say earlier? I said there's other guys. I know Terrion Arnold's good, but there's somebody out there that's not facing life in prison that you could bring in.
All right, KG says ESPN is now verifying the story.
I don't like this. I don't, but I'm so used to it that I'm kind of numb to it.
It's disgusting to me.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
Okay.
This guy allegedly did a very terrible thing.
He was the mastermind. Actually, the reports and the, everything is said is that he was behind, on the FaceTime.
Yep.
Organizing what was to be done.
Knowing what was going to happen, allegedly.
Well, he was directing the actual kidnappers what to do, according to the complaint.
Yeah.
And again, he was trying to get back at people that he thought had stole stuff from him when in turn they didn't.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is he's facing life in prison and some really serious charges. And it seems like the Seahawks could just do fine without having to sign this guy.
I
don't disagree with you, Scrape. I'm not going to say it's disgusting. I don't know that word applies, but I don't like it.
Okay, maybe disgusting was too far. Pathetic?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I
feel like when I was a kid, I was told if you do things wrong, it's going to ruin your life. If you commit crimes, it's going to ruin your life. Some of these guys, it doesn't ruin their life.
But I'm just saying because you have to at this point. If he's exonerated, do you have any problem with him playing?
No.
Okay. So let's just see what the details are.
I should wait.
If the details are, we don't care what happens, we're giving you $100 million guaranteed, then
true,
I'm going to start going into disgusting territory.
All right.
But I need to find out.
All right, I'll step back a little bit. Russell Westbrook retired from the NBA after 18 seasons in the league, and he's been a controversial player for some reason over the years, but he did win an MVP in his career. He only, this proves to me how hard it is to get to the finals or Super Bowl. He only played in one finals in his entire 18-year career. He had 4 seasons where he averaged a triple-double. I guess I'm up first. What's his legacy? You'll have a better explanation of this. What's his legacy? I thought he was an awesome player, and I love seeing him average a triple-double in a season 4 times. So I'll think of him as a fun player. I don't really have anything bad to say about Russell Westbrook. Chris?
Russell Westbrook's a competitor. That's what he's going to be known for. This guy competed like no other out there, and maybe even crossed over the line to some people's way of thinking. But he's an MVP. He did something that only Oscar Robertson had ever done before, and then he did it 4 times. So I'd say Russell Westbrook, a pretty damn good player. Yeah. And you said he only went to 1 NBA Finals. That's true. I'll tell you that Dan Marino only went to 1 Super Bowl. Still a great all-timer.
It was more shocking to me because he played so long, and he played for good teams that, like, out of all the years in his NBA career, he only went to the finals once. So
he was actually still pretty good. Like last year, he's still contributing.
Why was he so controversial, though?
Because he competed so hard. Okay. And sometimes he went, I think, over the line. But it was a competition thing with Westbrook.
Number 3.
The Chicago Bears may no longer be a football team in Chicago. Instead, they're going to be the Chicago Bears of Hammond, Indiana, Chris. The Bears said that they're done talking to the state of Illinois, and they are moving forward with choosing one of the 2 sites in Indiana. So this is a very hot-button topic for me, Chris. If they move to Indiana, can they still be called the Chicago Bears?
Where do the 49ers play?
Santa Clara, which I've said many times they should be called the Santa Clara 49ers.
I know, but they're not. Where do the Dallas Cowboys play?
Arlington, but they're still closer to Dallas than but Chicago's in Illinois. They're going to be in a completely different state. And before you hit me with the Giants and the Jets, that's been that way forever.
Okay, so that grandfathered in?
Yes. I knew that's when I saw your face, I knew that's where you're going.
Yes. I'm not going to make them call them the Hammond Bears or even the Gary Bears, which I think is better. It sounds better, actually.
Gary Bears are really great.
Yeah. Money is the root of all evil, Scraby, and we're going to have to just deal with it. There's going to be teams going to places that are going to be, giving them the best possible deal in terms, the Rams play in Inglewood. So do the Chargers. It's just the way it goes now. I don't disagree. I wish it was not, but it is.
See, I can buy Los Angeles, even though they're in Inglewood, they're in Los Angeles. Like, I could buy that. The 49ers are like 40 miles away. And when you say, oh, that's not that much, it takes you like 2.5 hours to get there from the city. Anyway.
Yeah, the 49ers is they've got to be as far, if not further, than any team from their actual home base. Would you say?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Number 2.
All right, so last night, Freddie Freeman took a massive fall into the dugout. I don't know if you saw this, Chris, but he was going over trying to catch a foul ball. As he was getting close to the dugout, he reached over the stairs that go down into the dugout, and he fell down them. He's okay. He said he didn't hit his head. He's very lucky about that, but he's extremely sore. And he didn't sustain any major injuries. So my question is, do they need to now put a door on the dugout?
Am I first?
Yeah. This happens quite a bit, actually.
This was a bit of a scary look, but I am not one to react every time something happens. End of my story on that. You're asking somebody that thinks maybe even kids ought to have the right to wear or not wear a helmet, and I know I'm wrong, but that's just me. We talked about this, by the way, the other day with some friends, and our thought was, when we were young and we didn't wear helmets, we actually might have been a little more careful because we knew we didn't have the protection. There's something to be said for that. Having erroneously said what I just said, because somebody's going to give me a hard time for it. And kids, wear your helmet. So no, I'm not reacting, but I will say this. When there's a pop-up like that, when you see a guy go near the dugout and it's his home dugout, you see his teammates stand there and get ready to help support him.
Yeah.
On the other side, nobody helps you because they don't want you to catch the ball.
Yeah.
I think the Royals should have been over there trying to at least be kind of there for him. I know it would have been hard, but this was a really way too scary. I don't need somebody to like crack their head open and break two legs trying to catch a pop fly because you're so competitive you can't like try to provide a little comfort for the guy trying to reach in there. Is that wrong?
I've seen this criticism that the Royals didn't help, and so even a LA writer tweeted out a video of these guys that were behind him, but they reached their arm out. I just don't know what you're asking. What you want someone to run from one end of the dugout to go support him?
Yeah, that's what they would have done on the Dodgers side.
Okay, so
if the pop-up was on the other side of the field.
Same, does it go for the Royals, though, if the Dodgers didn't help them?
No, the Dodgers don't have to help the Royals,
okay.
But the Royals have to help the Dodgers.
I figured that.
The Dodgers are royalty, so the Royals have to help the royalty.
I despise this writer for throwing these guys under the bus when they actually did reach out, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to go tumbling down the stairs.
Yeah, this is just look. Okay, I'll give you another example. The worst thing that ever could have happened 15 years ago, line drive in a minor league game off the head of a first base coach, Mike Coolbaugh.
Yep.
He died.
Yeah.
Every coach from then on now wears a helmet out there. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. Has one coach been hit in the helmet with a line drive since? I'd say no. I'd say I don't think it's happened since. And if we're going to be that concerned about every single person out there, base runners wear helmets for that reason. Now coaches wear helmets for that reason. Why don't umpires out on the base pass wear helmets? If we're concerned, if we're really, truly concerned, everybody should have a helmet on that's out on that field.
I mean, I don't disagree, but it would be a funny look. But would you rather die or have a funny looking helmet on?
I'm just saying, can we be consistent with this whole thing?
I guess not. But I see what you're saying.
Number one.
Thousands of White Sox fans. This might be one of my favorite giveaways. On Tuesday night, they got to take home a free hat fashioned in honor of team fan Pope Leo the 14th. I believe it's 14th. So this Pope hat that they gave away, first off, I'm surprised that no one is offended by this. Secondly,
I'm sure somebody is. We just haven't heard from them yet.
Secondly, selling things out, selling giveaways, Chris, free giveaways is a thing everywhere because now people are selling it for $130.
Do you have a picture of it? Can I see it?
I would have to pull it up, but it's just like a Pope hat.
It's like one of those bishop type
and
things,
it has
but it says White Sox on it.
Yeah, and it has the Sox logo on it and everything like that. I'm not going to ask if you're going to pay for it or anything, but would you like a Pope hat if you could get one?
I would not.
I would. Okay. Why wouldn't you?
I don't have time to get into it.
Don't you want to be the Pape? You feel like you're a papacy? Is that what they call the Pope?
I like the Pope, but we can go into get into a messy conversation here.
Yeah, let's not get real.
So let's not.
Let's not get real.
Yeah, I don't want a Pope hat.
All right, we're going to be doing the roundtable replay here at 5 p.m. coming up next. The happy hour, which would be during that hour, brought to you by Geo Pools. The swimming
Hang on,
pool
I hate
experts.
to interrupt you. Patriots 3, Colts nothing, first quarter preseason football.
Swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegos for 20 years. The baseball season is in full swing, and so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now and mention radio for 20% off new service plans in 2026. Back tomorrow, Luis Renegifo.
From the first Coming up on Finally a Friday, it's Friar Friday with Hey, he came out of nowhere. Luis Rengifo, our guest.
Break down everything to the panel today. Be left by Chris Ello from the Gwynn Chris program. Hello, Chris. Break down everything both on and off the field with the San Diego Padres in our commercial-free Epic Padres Roundtable, sponsored by Epic Wings. Buckle up, Friar Faithful. We've got a lot to discuss. Now, here's your host, Ben Higgins. That was amazing. I've never seen anyone be more exactly on time than Braden Soprenet.
Right. That was impressive.
Sat down literally 5 seconds ago, and now we have a complete cast for our commercial-free Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable here on 97.3 The Fan. I am Ben Higgins. I am joined to my left by Chris Ello from the Gwynn Chris program. Hello, Chris.
Game time is on time, Ben.
At the end, as I already mentioned, Braden Soprenet from the Braden Soprenet Show.
You know, you guys golf all the time. A little show and go, Ben.
There you go. Stephen Woods, my co-host in the mornings here on 97.3 The Fan. Woodsy?
I've never been that late to anything in my whole life.
No, you have not.
Never.
And our special guest this week, for the second straight week, we have a former Padres opening day starter. Last week it was Tim Stauffer, but pleased to welcome Brian Lawrence to the panel today. B-Law, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Really excited. And wow, it's a fun time for Padres fans. What a week it was. What a series against the Milwaukee Brewers. And I wanted to just give everyone a chance. Yesterday's game, if not the best game of the season, certainly one of the most entertaining, exciting, tense, nail-biting games that we have seen, 4-3 and 11 innings. I wanted to give everyone just a thought, like what stood out to you about that game, an observation you made about that game, Chris, that you stuck with you after you watched the Padres pull that one out.
Yeah, it was one of the games that felt most like a playoff game, I think this year. And so I'm looking forward to a whole bunch more of those. If you're a baseball junkie, I think you really enjoyed that game. So much strategy, so many decisions and plays made, not made. But I'll tell you my take home, because I looked it up this morning. Luis Campusano went 578 calendar days without a hit. From August 31st to 2024 to April 3rd this year. I don't know that a player's ever been further down and out and off the radar than him. And for him to be the hero yesterday, kind of culminating a great season and him coming back, and I was really happy, to see everybody out jumping on his back after that game. He deserved it.
Brian, Chris makes a good point. You played before the designated hitter in the National League era, but that game had a bit of a throwback feel with all the changes that were made and strategic adjustments that Craig Stammen had to make as manager. What stood out to you about that victory yesterday?
A win, basically. Coming back and being able to win that game, and they could have very easily just kind of taken it and said, all right, we won 2 out of 3. Let's just move on to tomorrow. And they battled. And Never gave up, even down to 2 outs and being a guy out to first base to extend the innings and coming up with the big hits at the end. They never gave, and they should have won it in the ninth, really, because that ball looked fair to me down the line.
I thought so. Me too,
Sure did,
Brian.
man.
So, and to kind of have that not happen, and then the guy lines out to end the inning, and then they continue to just battle and win the game.
Yeah, I went on a bit of a tangent. The height of the sun and the height of Petco Park and the shadow of the baseball that was clearly in fair territory past the back. How could that possibly have been a foul ball? But
that was like in an NFL game when they don't make the first down and they give you the first down on the mark.
Yeah.
It was the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So, Woodsy, what was one of your observations about the game yesterday?
I mean, just resilience, right? Like just never, ever giving up and they're wrapping into double plays at a prodigious rate and the bullpen coming in and Adrian Morahone, like, again, it could have been one of those moments like, all right, I gave one up. And what does he do? He punches out the side. Like, these guys are dogs. There's no question. Like, if you question this team, if they want it, if they care, you see that a lot on social media. These guys don't care. They're checked out. It's like, I don't know what game you're watching, or what team you're watching. They were resilient even when they were losing. This clubhouse has stayed together. You can tell they really root for each other. It was really a special 3 games, to be honest.
Braden, your observations from yesterday?
Everything that you guys said, but then on top of it, Fernando making incredible plays. Again, like, he wasn't even in the lineup yesterday, goes in that 8th inning and, he pinch hits, he works a walk, gets himself to second when Rengifo walked, and then a ground ball to first base, which should be a inning ender, or at the very worst for the Brewers, maybe bases loaded and 2 outs. Fernando scores from second base. He never slows up, just goes for it. Every time you watch this Padres team play, or really Fernando, it seems like, we've missed some of the unbelievable plays that he has made, and he still shows you that he could do that. And what a huge impact on the game he had yesterday, and he didn't even start in it.
I think for me, we often look at baseball and we look at that starting lineup and we match the starting lineup against the other lineup, and we match the starting pitcher over the other pitcher, and we go, I like our chances tonight, or this one's going to be a tough one.
Sure.
But baseball, and Brian, I'm sure you know this, is about more than just the 9 guys on the field. And yesterday's game was what it takes to use an entire rosters full of players, bringing in guys. Sungwon Song, who didn't play until the last, couple of minutes, but stole a base, and with a great slide to get in ahead of the tag at home plate, to use your catchers, both of them coming into that game, making a switch so you can get Tatis in there, but then knowing you've got Campy in reserve to come in, pinch runners on the base paths. It's a 26-man roster for a reason, and you need all of those guys to pull out wins, especially come October in games like that, which are similar to what you feel like in a playoff game.
You look at it, your stars are going to carry you for most of your games, right? Like, that's what they're there for. That's what they get paid to do. But a full season, and we talk about in the offseason, like, who's our bench players for this upcoming season, because they are so important. Somebody's going to get hurt, and those guys are going to have to play for an extended period of time, and they need to be solid players. And the best ones seem to be the ones that kind of embrace that role and know that's what they're going to do. And even though might not play for a couple of days in a row, they're still going to be prepared to play every inning of every game, and they're going to be ready to go. And those are the ones you want. And if they can do that well, they're, they round out a team so much.
Well, it was a fun one to watch. I mean, there was ups and downs. I mean, Xander hit the home run, but also didn't come through in extra innings. I mean, it was not a linear path to victory, but it made it really entertaining for us fans. So now, with the Phillies and Diamondbacks both losing, the Padres are sitting in the second wild card spot, 5th playoff position in the National League. After months of really just trying to talk about whether or not this is a potential playoff team or not, I think we can all agree now that this is definitely a potential playoff team. Anyone disagree? Right. Okay, so here's the question. Is this a legitimate World Series contender now, based on what we have seen over the last few weeks, Braden? Do you feel like this team, because it can't really make a lot of changes now, is what they have on the roster and on the field enough to make a run in October if they get there?
Well, they've proven that they could beat the 2 other best teams in the in Major League Baseball, in the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers, sweeping both of them at home, winning the season series against both of them this year. I think the biggest hurdle will always be the Los Angeles Dodgers until things change. And so from that perspective, it makes it difficult to declare whether or not they're a World Series caliber team. But, if you factor out that element of Los Angeles, I mean, there's not one team in Major League Baseball that, I'd be, terrified to play. Not to say I would be terrified to play the Dodgers either, but when you start stacking the Padres up against a lot of teams in Major League Baseball, talent-wise and how they've assembled their team, they're good enough to make a run. I think just the additions of Robbie Ray and Casey Mize give you that opportunity. And the other thing too, like with Robbie Ray yesterday, I said it to Frank during the game as I was in the press box. There was a couple of times like where I think there was one of the innings where he walked two guys to get the inning going. And I think he got out of it with no runs. I think he did a good job handling the, Merrill coming up on the ball a little bit too aggressively. I mean, he showed you what a veteran pitcher does that has experience being a starter that can get you innings more so than what we've seen with the, the rotation for the rotation with all these other arms that 2 walks to start the inning would just blow up and be like a six run inning. So I think with a little bit more stability in the starting rotation, even though it's not probably one of the best, I think the fact that you have the best bullpen in baseball, I think the fact that you got your stars swinging the bat, I think they can go on a run in October. Would I pick them as the favorite? No. If I got to pick any roster in baseball, would they be the one that I would pick to win the World Series? Probably not. But I've seen some weird stuff in baseball before, and I think talent-wise and in the right timing and how things shape up, they could make a run at this thing.
Woods, I don't know about you, but I find it almost difficult to accept because it was such a different conversation last month. And now I'm trying to wrap my mind around, now this team might be good enough. Like the ceiling may be higher than we thought it was for the San Diego Padres. How much have you changed your view based on what we've seen over these last 3 weeks or so?
I know changed. He never gave up on this team.
Yes, I did. I know better. I know
still
better.
on pace for 500. I still finished 500.
I know better than to get all excited with this many games left to go. Man, terrible things can happen. Great things can happen. We've seen great things happen. But I'm just trying to be a realist here. But I look at that bullpen and I go, oh yeah, that's a World Series winning bullpen. Period. The end. No question. I look at the lineup when all those guys are firing, 100%. Will they hit enough in October? It's been the problem. It's been the problem for this team. So if they play like this, Ben, yeah, man, sky's the limit, right? Like they're certainly not afraid of anybody and not intimidated by anyone at all, and have beaten some good teams. They've beaten some good pitchers. They run the bases. Sometimes a little recklessly, but they're fast. They put pressure on the defense. They look right now like a fairly complete team.
Brian, I mean, you've seen more baseball than the rest of us. What do you see from this roster right now? Does it have championship potential in your mind?
100%.
Okay.
They just got better in the starting pitching department, which is what's going to get them to the playoffs. And then once you get to the playoffs, and that's what they're thinking about right now. They're not thinking about a World Series. I promise you that. That clubhouse it's not even mentioning World Series right now. They're winning each game, each day to get to the playoffs. Now, once that happens, then now their focus changes, right? And so you get to the playoffs. So starting pitching is going to help them get there because what it's going to do is hopefully allow them to go deeper in games, which saves our bullpen. Because at the pace they were going in the beginning of the year, that bullpen won't be the bullpen that we are seeing. They're going to be dead. It's going to be done. And then they have no chance. So let these guys go deep into games, keep winning games, get to the playoffs. And if you have a fresh-ish bullpen that you can for the playoffs, that team can win 100%. Like you get the lead 6th inning in the playoffs with that bullpen, it's going to be hard to beat. And so, if they can continue to stay healthy and continue to play like they're playing right now and get to the playoffs, they definitely have a chance.
I would just want to follow up because you mentioned the acquisitions of Casey Mize and Robbie Ray, undoubtedly going to help the team going forward. But Padres still don't have that ace type, shutdown. Maybe Michael King can be that, but can you win a World Series without having a real horse at the top of the rotation, a guy who you can feel like, we are almost certainly going to win this one if our guy is on today?
Are you talking about a guy who would be like a number one starter, like the only Padre starter in history with an immaculate inning? That type of guy? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean, Mason Miller did it as well, but Brian Lawrence does have an immaculate inning for the San Diego Padres. Can't get more dominant than that. That's true.
Go.
You know, with the starting pitching, yeah, a guy might go out there and not be an ace, if you want to call him that, but every single one of those guys that starts that game can have a day to go out there and you're not scoring on him. You know, there was days I'd walk on the mound and you get to the third inning and I'm like, you're not scoring today, you know? And I definitely wasn't an ace and I was a mediocre starting pitcher, but there were days you just weren't going to hit me. And that's the kind of thing where the stars have to line up in the playoffs to have those outings to win against maybe a stronger rostered team.
Chris, your thoughts on now the championship potential of the San Diego Padres?
Yeah, winning it all seems pretty improbable just because we're San Diego. It's just never happened for us. But I would just answer by saying there is no one who gave the Nasty Boy Reds of 1990 a chance in hell against that incredible Oakland team. The Reds swept that World Series. The 2019 Nationals could go on and on. The 2003 Marlins. Baseball is set up for things like this to happen in the postseason, and this is the type of roster conceivably that could win. Yes.
We are a quarter of the way already through our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable, commercial free here on 97.3 The Fan. You can grab your wingman, make it an epic summer with the Epic Wings Buddy Pack, 20 wings, 2 sauce flavors, including their new limited time spicy barbecue sauce, 4 breadsticks, and 2 house-made dipping sauces for $29.95. That's over a $40 value. I haven't done a roundtable draft in a while. I'll explain how it works for everybody, as well as Brian Lawrence, new to the panel. I will give you a question, and everybody has to give a different answer to the question. So once it's already been taken, you got to go with someone else. We'll go right down the line on this one, starting with Braden Suprenant and coming back to me. The question is, who has been the biggest difference maker for the San Diego Padres since the All-Star break? Put you on the spot, Braden, but I think there are a lot of potential choices for this one. I don't think we're going to run out of difference makers for the Padres.
No, I definitely don't think so. I mean, I think it goes back to what you said, Ben, about just using the whole roster. The whole roster seems to be contributing. I'm going to go with the probably more obvious answer because we've seen it on MLB Network and the national media is talking about him a lot. But Jackson Merrill's been unbelievable. He's back to what he looked like in his rookie self. And I think, he's one of the guys that you relied upon going into this year as being a star that needed a star. And you're starting to see it right now. And there's no surprise to me of why the Padres are doing the damage that they're doing. But there's a lot of great answers and a lot of good draft picks coming up.
Yeah, I feel like Jackson's a pretty solid number 1 overall pick in this choice. Woods, you got the number 2 selection. Biggest difference maker since the All-Star break.
I'll go with Adrian Morejon, who's just as nasty as it gets. And
wait, is he still on the team? I thought we traded
Will
him
Warren, right?
Yeah, that's right.
No, he's still here and shoving.
We were idiots to turn down Will Warren, if I recall.
That's what Bob Nightingale said for sure. I think you put him in and the confidence that you feel, knowing you also have Mason behind him, but the ability to go multiple innings. I sat there yesterday for a second and I went, oh, is it going to be Yuki? And I'm like, oh no, it's going to be Adrian again for a second inning. And he was brilliant and he's been brilliant all year, really, but he had some scuffles early, but you just feel confident when he's in there, and he wants it really badly. You can tell.
Brian, before I get your choice, I want you to comment on Adrian Morejon because you've given up the run there, and then you've got the runner at third, and you really know if you give up 2, you're putting yourself in a bad situation for the bottom of the inning in the 11th. To have to strand a runner with nobody out at third base has got to be one of the toughest challenges a pitcher can face in the big leagues.
It is because you realistically there's one option. You got to strike the guy out. Pop ups to the infield or those are a little tougher. But so he's literally thinking I have to strike this guy out. And you look at the Padres in that scenario, which is extended games, extra innings. We're built for that with our bullpen because you basically have 3 guys that can go in there and strike everybody out: Strada, Morejon, Miller. And so you get those out there, and when you need to strike out, it's what he does.
All right, your pick for the biggest difference maker for the Padres since the All-Star break.
Well, there's
Merrill and
some obvious-
Morahone are taken.
Yeah, there's some obvious choices that we can make. I'm going to think outside the box a little bit and how my mind works as a pitcher and what I see in games that aren't always statistically valuable. But it's hard.
Kyle Hart's
come in the game.
nice.
So you think about what he's had to do.
Yeah.
Start games, just pick up innings in the middle of a game that, we end up losing the game, but he's picking up innings that somebody else doesn't have to pitch, which saves our bullpen. Coming in the 8th inning the other day, he's done anything we've needed him to do, and he's done it well since the All-Star break. And, like I said, he's not going to be the guy that pops in everybody's mind, but you think about what he's doing right now to help this team, it's pretty cool.
The heartthrob.
Good answer. Chris, you're next up, 4th pick in our draft. Biggest difference maker for the Padres since the All-Star break.
I'm going to leave a lot of obvious choices for you, Ben, because I'm going to go with Craig Stammen.
Yeah.
And for one reason, because he never stopped trying stuff. When we all gave up on this team, he's at the point, the point man for this, right? There was obviously a lot of input, but to me, the thing that changed the season and got him going for whatever reason, maybe it was just luck and timing, was the chaos pitching. That changed it right then and there. Kyle Hart was a big part of it, but just the fact that he never stopped trying stuff in a season where we had all given up. That is what I think, and I think everybody saw that in this clubhouse and said, you know what, nobody's given up. We can't give up. So I'm going to go with Craig Stammen for that decision alone.
There's going to be some really good unsigned draft picks at the end of this draft that didn't get picked, including Fernando Tatis Jr., who's just not going to get mentioned because I'm not picking Fernando Tatis Jr., so he's going to end up on the board. I considered like the catching tandem, which has been obviously such a difference maker just because they've been hitting constantly. But I don't think we can have this draft without saying Luis Rengifo and what he has done from out of nowhere off the DFA scrap heap from the Milwaukee Brewers and coming in and, quickly moving up, often hitting in the 2-hole for the San Diego Padres.
Hit cleanup the other night.
Hit cleanup. You can put him lower in the order. He can run around a little bit. He can give you some pop, including the first career grand slam with an OPS, well over 800 since joining the San Diego Padres. It's when you get those unexpected contributions that really allow a team, I think, to sometimes go on a streak like the Padres are going on right now. You count on Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis Jr., maybe not to be as hot as Jackson's been, but you kind of need them to keep doing that. But when you get guys like Luis Rengifo out of nowhere playing the way that they are playing, that really makes a difference on a roster and to the depth of a lineup. So, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that they sign him and all of a sudden Padres have been reeling off a bunch of wins. So Luis Rengifo is my pick.
Apologies to Ty France, who
I
still think is in the lead for team MVP for the season.
That's because he's done it the whole year, not just the second half.
Such a tough one. All right, I'm going to start with B-Law on this one. Because there's been a lot of talk about the coaching staff for the San Diego Padres this season. A lot about the hitting coach, Steven Sousa Jr., who took, from this panel, from fans, slings and arrows for the first half of the season. But I want to broaden it out as well, include the pitching coach, Ruben Niebla, Ben Fritz, the entire staff, and ask you, Brian, and then everyone else can chime in. How much impact do coaches have on the major league level? Like, how much of a difference can they really make? Is it a little? Is it a lot? In your experience, like how big of an impact do the coaches have?
I think it's a matter of who the player is and whether they take instruction or they just are set in their ways and they do their own thing. But for me, coming up, I had Daryl Ackerfeld, who was our bullpen coach, who had been with me almost every level in my minor league career. So I had him, I think, 3 seasons in a row in the minor leagues, and then we both came to the big leagues pretty much together. So, a player comes over and a coach is only seeing him for the first time. Yeah, there's videos and this, that, but there's not the history that – so I could go out, and if I was off, Ack would come and be like, hey, I see this. Because he had seen me good for so long, he could see it when it was a little off. And we could correct that. and then you have guys that are just good at what they do, and then they can say something and it just clicks like that to help a player. But essentially for me, all the talk of firing this and that was crazy to me, because the player has to go out there and do it. It all comes down to the player. If you're not good, it's because of what you're not doing, or it's on you. It should never be on a coach. There's not a coach out there that's telling somebody to do something that's going to make them not be good. And so that's where I kind of draw a line. Now, let somebody have some history, let them be a coach for a while to learn. And then you kind of see, okay, they're pretty good or they're not, and you move on from there. But for me, it's coming down there. I never blamed a coach for if I was bad. It was my fault. And so now, could there be somebody there to help me? Sure. But it's essentially, I still have to do it.
Woods, I know that's been your take pretty much all season long when it comes to the coaching staff. It's on the players far more than the coaches. But as Brian says, I mean, coaches can make a huge impact with just a well-chosen word and an observation here or there if they make the right one.
Yeah, they're such different, right? Like pitching coach and hitting coach, in my opinion, too, it's just different. The reaction that you need, the load, the hands, and yeah, you can look and say, hey, I saw you had your hands a little higher. Is that something you're trying? Souza, I thought, was an unfair scapegoat. These guys get paid a lot of money. They get paid a lot of money because they know how to hit, and they've done it for a long time. And we keep bringing hitting coaches in here, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not going to give him a ton of credit for the rebound, and I wasn't going to give him a ton of blame for having the worst offense. It's so hard to do. Hitting is so hard, and it's not like he's installed a new offense that they're trying to learn. The playbook's real thick. No, they're going to go out and do what they're trying to do, and it's got to be hard, man, walking into a new situation and having guys that have done it and they're making $30 million a year and they know how they want to hit. And maybe they learned something in the offseason that they shouldn't have. And now you got to train that out of them. It's a huge task. And I think the hitting coach is the most unforgiving, biggest scapegoated gig in the big leagues right now.
I coached minor leagues for the Cubs for a while. And the hardest thing I had to do as a coach was I coached myself, and I tell all my players when we first started, these are A-ball guys, rookie guys, you are going to be your best coach your entire career. So you better learn yourself and learn what you do well, learn what you don't do well. And because you're going to have a different coaches along the way, but you need to be your best coach. And so the hardest thing for me as a player, because I was my best coach, like I knew myself better than anybody. I had to coach 12, 13 guys now, and they're all different. So I had to say something to him, and this other guy was doing the same thing, but I had to tell him something different for him to figure it out. And so you have to learn all those guys, and then you have to learn how you can talk to them, if you can yell at them, if you can't yell at them, and all this stuff. It's hard. It's a tough gig.
It's based on something you said. It's our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable, commercial free by Epic Wings, always fresh, never frozen. Brian Lawrence, former Padres pitcher, opening day starter, is our guest. And something you said about coaching makes me wonder if where major league teams get it wrong, because there's a lot of turnover for various reasons, but manager gets fired. Usually there's a new coaching staff. Bad season. Hey, let's clean out a few of the coaches. And I wonder if a team really just ever stuck with a coaching staff for an extended period of time and give them a chance to learn players over 2-3 seasons where they really get to know those guys better, that a little patience, Chris, might actually be what is required. Tough to do when fans are screaming every day on social media and on radio going, got to get rid of this guy, got to get rid of that guy. But is there not enough patience maybe in Major League Baseball with coaching staffs who will probably only get better as you give them more time to do their jobs?
Yeah, I don't even worry about the fans and the social media. I worry about loudmouth afternoon talk show hosts who called for the hitting coach to be fired in May and in June and July and kept coming up with every reason to do it, despite what Brian's saying. I fully believed it was the players not executing, but I honestly thought just some new different voice needed to be, entered into the equation. But, they stuck it out and it's paying off. Patience is a great thing. How many teams just keep chasing their tail and firing this, starting anew, and selling a whole new, we're rebuilding type of thing. That's why I love what AJ Preller does every August by refusing to do that and continuing to just go out and push and try to go after it. So, yeah, patience we're all pretty bad in that category, but baseball owners and GMs are near the top of that list.
Well, and Braden, look at the San Diego Padres. Yes, they've had some good pitching staffs, really good bullpens in recent years. Offenses have been hit or miss. The consistency, and this goes back to B-Law's days, has been in the pitching coach. They've had a lot of consistency with Darren Balsley, Ruben Niebla. They have not made the changes like they do with hitting coaches, which they go through, basically like you're folding laundry, like next pair. They keep going. But why not try to stick with other guys like you stuck with your pitching coaches for so many years?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you see it now more and more in like college football, and you see it in a lot of the NFL, and you see like these organizations that pivot so fast because they think they can just instantly win a championship by changing some things, or maybe the expectations are too high about the team that they built. It would be nice to see. I just think in this day and age of instant gratification that we have as a society, that you're going to see more teams that are like, you know what, we better see you guys win, or like we're changing everything. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea nor a good plan. Obviously, a lot of the circumstances have been different with the Padres, with the different coaching staffs that they have had. But the reality is, the managers changed, but the staff has been kind of the same for the last handful of years. Of what this team would be like if they, had the same guy for a longer period of time. Again, it's not like they were just getting rid of everybody. Melvin left and Mike Schilt left, so it's a little bit different. But I do think it'd be interesting to see like what these teams would do if they, they stuck with some of their guys through some tough times. And as Brian said, like they get to learn these players. As a coach that at the high school football level, there's definitely kids that over the course of like the last couple of months, I've learned, like Brian was saying, I can yell at this kid, I can't yell at this kid, or I have to be a little bit more, technical with this guy. And, this kid's not going to understand that. That's hard to do in one season, and that's hard to do to throughout the entire year. So not surprised that things were kind of not going well for Steven Souza Jr. potentially at the beginning, and now they are. You got to give some of these guys some time. And I've always thought a good rule of thumb is give a coaching staff 3 years to see if they can turn things around. But I don't think a lot of front offices want to wait 3 years anymore.
So many things have changed over just the last week or so in the National League playoff race, but I wanted to give everybody a chance to handicap where they feel like the race is heading now. And I was going to say Padres, Phillies, Diamondbacks. Got to throw in the Miami Marlins, who are not going away. They're just a game and a half out of a playoff spot as well. So, Chris, as you look at those 4-2 teams, where they're standing right now, who do you like's best chances to emerge with the final 2 playoff spots now in the National League?
Who's in the 8th spot right now? Because that's where the Padres were 33 days ago. They were in the 8th spot. They're now in the 2nd spot. They've passed 6 teams in 33 days. So I don't know that you don't have to include the Cardinals and everybody
Pirates
else too. Yeah,
Nationals.
But, it sure seems like the Padres obviously have momentum right now. The Phillies, I feel like they have the pedigree, but I've always felt this team has gotten a little older this year, and I think that they may fade. I do like the Marlins because they're young and hungry, and their pitching has been pretty good. But that injury to Kyle Stowers right now really takes a big bat out of the middle of their order. So I'll say Arizona gets there because I'm a fan of Torey Lovello and the Padres.
Woodsy, what do you think in terms of the playoff race at this point? Who are your 2 favorites?
Exact same as what Elo said. I like Arizona. I don't think they're going away. They're pesky. We played them. They're tough. They're tough. And Corbin Carroll is a freak. He is a freak. They had some stat yesterday, fastest to 100 home runs, fastest to 100 triples. He is a superstar. Ketel Marte can get you anytime. Arenado has been solid, and their pitching, as rough as it was, like Merrill Kelly shoved last time he was out. If they could figure that out, I think they'll be there at the end.
They could get Corbin Burns back. I've heard some whispers.
Is that right?
We're in maybe 3 or 4 starts in September. I don't know what that does for them, but it's a former Cy Young winner.
Certainly a boost to that pitching staff. But I like Lovello too. I think they're a good team. And I think they're going to be, unfortunately, pretty scrappy to that last series of the year here in San Diego, which is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, the Phillies still do have Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler and the pitching experience that. I mean, they're such a hot and cold team, though. If Kyle Schwarber goes on another tear at some point,
they should win a lot more than they do. I think.
I always feel that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still kind of give them the edge. Obviously, it feels like the Padres are just on this freight train express right to the postseason. But again, as you mentioned, we still got 40+ games to go.
A lot of time.
A lot can change between now and then. Brian, how do you kind of handicap the rest of the NL playoff race?
Well, obviously, I'm putting the Padres up there.
Yeah.
They, they're on a streak right now, and it all comes down to health. Who can stay healthy and keep their guys on the field playing. A little luck involved, but it's just grinding out the NC. So the Padres are there, and I don't know that I can count against the Phillies with the guys they have. Those two guys at the top of their rotation are just really tough.
Back end's pretty good too with Duran.
They're built on paper to be there, and if they, just like I said, stay healthy and continue to do, they're going to be okay. And it's who can get hot. You look at the Padres right where they're 15-4 and it climbed right back. It's a streak. It's a game of streak because there's going to be some down. I hate to say it, but we're going to lose 2 or 3, 4 games in a row. It's going to happen. And then you just got to be able to bounce back and win 4 or 5 in a row like they're doing now to be there at the end. But I like the Padres and the Phillies.
Why are you so negative, calling for a 4-game losing streak right now, Brian?
It's going to happen.
Realism.
That's baseball. That's baseball wisdom and experience speaking.
Yeah, we're not used to wisdom on this panel, Brian.
It's weird about the Diamondbacks. I feel like last year's team felt so much more dangerous with Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor. And it just doesn't feel like it's as good of a team, but yet, I don't know, Torey Lovullo, good manager. They continue to play well. Braden, what are your thoughts on the playoff race from here on out?
I don't think Philly makes it. I think they're going to run out of gas. I think their age is showing here in the stretch, and they got tougher opponents coming up. I mean, they got battles on their hands that they're going to have to navigate and get through to finish the season. So does Arizona, but I just think Arizona's got guys like Corbin Carroll and a little bit more youth, and I think that I think they got a little bit more hunger to get to the postseason after not making it the last couple of years. So I think the Padres and Diamondbacks make it through. I think Chicago catches Milwaukee. I said that last week. Seemed a little bit far-fetched. They're 4 games out now, I think, maybe 3.5. 3.5 now,
right?
After
three
now. After they still got 7 games against Milwaukee.
Crazy.
And that's going to be a dogfight. And I think, and Kyle Glazier said it on my show during the trade deadline. After the Brewers didn't get Skubal, he said the Cubs smell blood in the water, and they're going at, and they're going to hunt them down. And I totally think that's the case, especially with what we saw with Milwaukee this week here in town. So I think your 3 wild cards are going to be Milwaukee, San Diego, and Arizona, probably in that order. Padres are still well behind, that top wild card spot, whether it be Chicago or the Brewers. But that's how I think it shakes out. And I honestly think Miami probably finishes one spot out. I'm just not a huge believer in the Phillies, despite their 2 studs at the top of the rotation and their elite.
They hardly ever win a game when those top 2 or 3 guys don't start. That's killed them all year.
And if that was the case, if it went Milwaukee, San Diego, Arizona, Padres would dodge the Cubs and not have to go to Wrigley Field for a best-of-3 against that red-hot team. But as we pointed out this morning, then you're probably facing Jacob Mizorowski in Game 1 of a best-of-3 series.
But you're not facing
on the road.
Game 2.
Hey, if you could tie with them, though, you have the season tiebreaker now.
So that is an interesting development as well. Continuing on with our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable, you mentioned Corbin Burns trying to come back from a long injury. Looks like Joe Musgrove is going to be trying to do that as well. Perhaps in less than 2 weeks, we could see him make his season debut and first time since 2024. Brian, let me ask you. I kind of brought it up earlier this week. What are fair expectations for Joe Musgrove? Like, how long of a leash can he have? As you know, there's going to be some rust to shake off, but he's also in the middle of a playoff chase here. Like, where should fans have their minds expecting Joe Musgrove to be when he comes back from a long surgery?
For me, watching him pitch, it's always about his breaking pitches. If he's able to dial those in and get them where he normally is, which could be a tough thing with an elbow injury. But I think you got to take it slow with him and bring him back, get him in the games. But it's going to come back to a guy like Hart, being able to follow him and allowing him to only go 2 innings, 3 innings in the beginning, and you're able to fill that gap to not press your bullpen. So it's a piggyback situation to where hopefully he can get built up. And if he's, towards the top of his game in the playoffs, you're just adding another guy that can help us out.
I mean, the buildup is crazy, right? You've gone through it before, right? And what's that like for a starting pitcher coming off an injury, or even just after just the dead arm, getting a rest for a while? You got to build back up. What's that like?
I think, especially with the elbow, it's more about trust. It's throwing a pitch and trusting that your elbow is going to stay together. I think that's the biggest hurdle to try to climb over is just throwing a ball and hoping your elbow doesn't explode. Like, it's just, and once you get past that, you're back to 100% and you can just move on, mentally move on. That's the biggest thing. It's where he's at in the mental side of it and trusting his elbow to be able to throw pitches.
Well, mentally, he came out the other day and said, no, I think AJ needs me to go 7 and be. I'm like, hey, relax. You brought that up on the, I mean, I don't think he's any different than anybody else in our rotation. Robbie Ray didn't really have it yesterday, hasn't really had it since he's gotten here. But Craig went out and got him and said, no, I got a pen and we're going to try to win this game, and pulled him. And I think you do the exact same with Joe. I think you do the exact same with Michael King. I think you do what you have to do. You can't burn the bullpen out, but you also can't afford to punt games unless they're just out of hand, 8-0 in the second. Okay. We're going to turn the page to tomorrow.
And Chris, I trust the Padres organization to be somewhat clear-eyed when it comes to Joe Musgrove. We are all rooting so hard for him to come back and be Joe Musgrove that you want to give him every opportunity. But if he scuffles, not going to be surprised. First start too. Like, how long can you keep giving him those chances? Like, if this was the April or May, you go, yeah, just keep going. He'll figure it out. But again, when you're in a playoff race and you're 1 game up on 2 teams and every game is so critical, you can't be necessarily wasting starts on a guy who hasn't figured it out yet. So that's kind of my question is what kind of runway and leeway can you give to Joe Musgrove as he comes back?
I think you can fit him in nicely. I really do, because right now you have 5 guys in your starting rotation, and that does not include Kyle Hart. I have no problem with Walker Buehler piggybacking a game with Joe Musgrove or Vasquez, whatever the case may be here, to get Joe to a situation where potentially you could use him in one of those games that Brian's talking about in October on a day like he was against the Mets, where he's just not going to give up a run. Yep. He's capable of it. So let's try to get him there. If he doesn't get there, you got to shoot for the stars, keep your feet on the ground type of thing. So I'm excited Joe's coming back. I don't think he'd be rushing it. I mean, to get to here. If he feels he's here, then I think he's legitimately here. I don't know. I'm still mad at the Dodgers sitting guys out all season, and now they're all back throwing 7 innings, striking out 12.
Yeah, this is part, Braden.
Drives me crazy.
Braden, this is part of the trouble I'm having is, I have formed these opinions about the Padres all season long. One of them was being, hey, if they don't get Joe Musgrove or Nick Pivetta back, at least one of them, then what are we doing here? This team just is not going to have it. And now I'm watching this team without either Joe Musgrove or Nick Pivetta look like a really, really good baseball team. And I'm wondering, I was wrong about that too. How badly do they need Joe Musgrove back at this point, and what does that comeback look like to you?
I think they need him for the final month. I think they're going to need him for September more so than October. I think it'd be nice to have him in October. Obviously, he's got playoff experience. He's got playoff experience in a Padres uniform. I think him being one of the leaders down there, it's a lot harder. It's first of all, it's already hard to lead as a starting pitcher. It's even more difficult to lead a team and help lead a team when you're a starting pitcher that hadn't pitched in 2 years. So I think that's a little bit of a boost. I think you can never have as many, you never have enough pitching, right? So I think he's going to be very valuable in getting to the playoffs, probably more so than in the playoffs. I mean, we've talked about this a lot. You only really need like 3 starters, maybe 4 max in the postseason. You rely heavily on your bullpen. They have enough of those guys, I think, to get you a couple of games. That'd probably be a little bit, nicer probably to have like a Joe Musgrove start. Then you can move, guys like, Bueller into the bullpen maybe. But, I think they're going to need him at during September, probably more so than anything else. But as you mentioned, Ben, like, yeah, you watch this team, and I said on July 23rd, I was like, this team's cooked. There's no way they're going to be able to make it through this. And then they go on a tear. I think the more frustrating thing is we knew they were capable of doing this, and they had to like flip a switch in the second half of the season to be in this spot. It'd be a lot easier if they just, kind of did this at the beginning of the year. But I think they are going to need Joe Musgrove in September.
Well, maybe next year, and we can see a faster start and not have to go through this again. It's our Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable on 97.3 The Fan. Brian Lawrence is our special guest. Epic Wings, try their new limited time spicy barbecue, which is the classic barbecue with a touch of Carolina Reaper pepper for a smooth kick.
I'm sorry, did you say smooth?
Smooth. Yeah, I had one that wasn't as quite smooth a couple of weeks ago.
I was going to say, I don't remember your experience being that smooth.
I think they just put a little too much Carolina Reaper on that one.
Let's be clear, that was not Epic Wings' fault.
No, that was my fault for sure. Seventh inning stretch. We take a little break from the baseball. Off topic. I didn't get to it last week, so I'm just going to bring it up. I went to Vegas a week and a half ago with my son for his 21st birthday. What is either your favorite or least favorite thing about going to Las Vegas? Braden, you want to start us out again here on the end?
Yeah, I've only been once since being 21, and that was a couple years ago. Here's what I think Vegas is kind of like, the concept is very cool. What I don't like about Vegas is my experience now at age like older than 21, right? It's just a different Vegas than it was that I hear stories from like my parents and then even my grandparents that talked about a little bit different of an experience, where things used to be super cheap and they got all their money on the gambling part. Missing out on that part of Vegas, I think is kind of my least favorite. But it's cool. Like they usually have some cool stuff that you can't, do here in San Diego, obviously. I honestly, even if you don't even bet at the sports book, watching games at a sports book is kind of like a surreal experience the first time you do it. I did that a couple of years ago. And, without even having any money on the games, you just hear cheering all over the place and you're trying to find the TV that they are watching, that they are gambling on. So I think watching sports in Vegas is pretty cool. I think the fact that it's uber expensive now sucks.
Chris, you've had to go a ton for, Mountain West and tournaments and be in that city, not necessarily on vacation every single time. I love Braden's observation because when I first went there, there's something about $1.99 steak and eggs, even though it's not a very good steak. It's
didn't need it at 4 in the morning, but you got it anyway.
Yet I'm still only paying $1.99 for this, which was kind of cool. What is either your favorite or least favorite thing about Las Vegas?
Yeah, he took mine. I mean, I did go in the days when they begged you to come by offering you buffets for $2 and $3 and room rates that were $14. It was so incredibly inexpensive. So I missed that. I think what I still like, though, about Vegas is everybody trying to outdo each other. Circa, their pool area is something that is just almost doesn't even seem real. And then you go down the street or, on the Strip, and then there's the Sphere, which doesn't seem real. So I think going to Vegas and just seeing every place outdo the next one is kind of exciting. But I do miss the free food or the cheap food. And the experience of seeing those neon lights for the first time when that really didn't exist anywhere else on Earth. Now it's not as dramatic.
B-Law, you had any couple of trips to Vegas in your past?
Well, I'm not a big gambler.
Yeah,
I will a little, but I think for me, which I did play in Vegas, so I was in AAA with the Padres.
What was the nickname? Were they the Area 51? What were they back then?
Stars.
The Las Vegas Stars, yeah.
So we were the Stars, and then it went to the Dodgers the next year. They moved to
Summerlin or wherever they're. Portland. Oh, the Padres moved to Portland, yeah.
Portland. And so, when you're staying and playing there, it's a little different. You're not but we would on me and my roommate would on our way home, the Palace Station was on our way home. We'd exit and we'd go in and it was like a $5 steak and eggs at midnight, after a game.
It has to be midnight.
And so we did that. But I just think people watching, like going and just seeing the different people walk around and, it's very interesting to me. So, other than that, like I said, I'm not a big gambler, but I do enjoy Vegas.
Woods, what about you?
I've actually never eaten a meal in Las Vegas, not once. Never eat when I go there. No, that town has gotten me many times. But going back older, my wife and I went to the Sphere. Been twice. It's the coolest experience of your life. I mean, you can't put a price on it. They actually did put a price on it. It was quite expensive.
Yeah, they do.
But it remains
cheaper to drive by and look at.
Oh, yeah. It remains one of the best nights I ever had in my whole entire life is seeing you two there with my wife. And I'll never forget it. Ever. And the worst thing was we went back with the kids and a couple of years ago. Valet is to park your car is like $80 a day now. It's like $100 to $80, $100 a day, which is insane even for me.
I was shocked. I just wanted to sit down at a pie gow table to play a few hands, and I couldn't find one that had a minimum of less than $100.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going, no chance. I am betting $100 a hand on anything.
You can tell how old somebody is now by the cheapest table they were able to play in Vegas.
Yeah. I couldn't
played
find less
a
than
$2 table,
$2 blackjack.
Back in the,
I played a $1
dark ages
at Harrah's.
Okay.
$1. They also had War. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I remember Casino War. Yep. One card. Oh, I won. I lost.
It's just, it's pretty good after you've had 60 drinks. It's kind of an easy one. Here you go. High card wins.
The dealer to tell you if you want or not.
That's right.
I think for me, it's kind of both the best and the worst because I know why they do this, but I'm always fascinated by going into one of those mega casinos. And you can get so lost in those. They have designed them where
no
they
exit
are
signs.
They are
few.
just labyrinth. But I almost turn it into like a game. Okay, how do I get out of here? It's like
and
an
if you
escape
do get
room.
out though, you may get out on the wrong side and not be able to find your way back.
So it's both fun and also frustrating when it's no, I can't possibly be back here. How did I end up where I started? They've got me right back to the casino again.
It's crazy.
I can't even believe it. All right, last couple of minutes here of our Epic Wings Epic Padres Roundtable. Let's look ahead. Padres head on the road. Cleveland Guardians for 3, and then the New York Mets. And Chris, I heard the stat on your show. Padres only have, I think, 4 series now left against, playoff teams?
I think so.
The rest of the season. And by the way, 8 of their next 10 series are against teams with losing records. Now, some of those are still playoff contenders, like the Twins are under 500. The Guardians are under 500, but plenty to play for in the American League. But they have a chance here, over these next 3 to 4 weeks to maybe even give themselves a cushion before they get to that last week against the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? But I saw the A's lose 11 in a row and go in and beat the Red Sox 2 out of 3 last week at Fenway. I saw the Rockies win their first series on the road since May, beating the Diamondbacks last night. I know, and I'm sure the Padres know. None of this is given. So go out and play good baseball. I'm really happy that Brian brought something up earlier that I'm going to pay a close attention to, which is innings by the starters, because this team needs to keep winning and keep the bullpen fresh enough to be as dominant as it can be. Those are the things I'm watching here.
I think you also mentioned the Diamondbacks have 8 series remaining
left,
against
right.
playoff
So
teams,
if you look at it that way,
including having to face the Phillies. So they have to battle against each other before the Padres finish against the Diamondbacks. As you look ahead, Brian Lawrence, what do you kind of see for the Padres in the near future on this road trip and beyond?
Well, I've always said there's no bad team in the big leagues. They're all major league teams. I remember I was on a flight coming from me and Jake sat next to each other, and we were absolutely dominating teams. We were just pitching. We were going into Kansas City, and they were not good. And we're we got, another one here. And I think we both gave up 5 runs in the first inning. And so it's there's no bad teams. They all can get you at any day. And so you got to play baseball the way they're playing right now and just put your head down and play the game correctly no matter who they're playing. And then they know that. It's going out there and getting it done and just continue to play the way they're playing right now.
Woods, you said on the show, 3-3 on this road trip. I mean, treading water on the road is usually good, but you also want to take advantage while your team's playing really well and stack up some wins.
They've played really well against the lesser teams this year. So just keep doing what you're doing. 4-2 would be fantastic. You are going up against some good pitching in Cleveland, and Stephen Kwan's coming around. Jose Ramirez, always nasty threat to get you. The Mets are a wounded animal. They're playing for pride at this point. They got to figure it out. So I'm excited, but just go 1-0 against Gavin Williams tomorrow, which is a tall order.
Yeah, good pitching matchup. Michael King against Gavin Williams to start this road trip. Braden, I'll give you the last thought here, final minute or so of the roundtable of what the Padres road looks like to you ahead.
Yeah, just keep pace and try to stay ahead of Philly and Arizona. They got to keep winning games, like Brian said, and it'd be nice to take 2 out of 3 against both of these opponents. Mets actually playing a lot better baseball as of late. Again, it's not who you play; it's when you play them. So even though they're playing 8 of their next 10 series against teams that aren't very good, you got to keep doing what has gotten you to this point and keep focusing on yourself. And if the Padres focus on themselves, they're going to be cruising into the playoffs here. But still a lot can happen in baseball.
Beware of former manager Andy Green now.
That's right.
Oh,
man, I forgot about that.
Us here. Can I throw one quick thing? We got 30 seconds. I sat and listened to Brian here, and I was trying not to look at him. And as I was listening, his voice took me to somebody. I could not figure it out until about 15 minutes ago. It's probably too late now for you to talk enough for everybody else to hear. Larry Bird sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Your voice, it was spot on. So anyway, I loved it. I love Larry Bird, so it's good.
All right, with that, we have wrapped it up.
Throwing
That's
something
all right.
completely out.
We have that all in our minds. We are done. We'll be back next Thursday with another Epic Wings, Epic Padres Roundtable for Braden Soprenet, Stephen Woods, Chris Ell, and our special guest, Brian Lawrence. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Thursday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games down the stretch, Padres talk never stops. Roster moves, injuries, trends, and what it all means, I've got you covered. Lock in with me, Braden Soprenet, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 97.3 The Fan, San Diego's home for Padres baseball talk.
Hey guys, it's Woodsy. Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's